to describe?
I can do most of it, I think.
All right, Kevin, go ahead.
All right. So first, Dancer was sleeping, so the other three of us went to investigate the rumors about this bandits. First, we went to the tavern. The tavern guy didn't know much, probably. But we did get information while we were there about some other people we could ask. So then we went to check out the guards up front, and they were a little shifty, in my opinion. But basically, they said that, you know, they didn't know nothing about no bandits. So then we went to the actual headquarters of the guard, and the lady there basically said that she didn't know anything about it either, but we did get information about a detective who works there named Looker, who has a caffeine addiction, evidently. And he brought us up, but he kind of implied that, you know, the walls are pretty thin there. So we subtly wrote on a note what we were actually asking about the bandits taking over the clam fields, while Fee talked about her quote-unquote missing coin purse. And then he told us to meet him on the beach after dark. And then we went to check on Dancer. Oh, yeah, and then Fee and Moon talked to the old man out front for like a really long time. Learned about some guy that wronged him 40 years ago. That seems very plot relevant. That I'm sure that'll come up and be very important. It's going to be the linchpin of the whole story here. And then we went to get Dancer, see if he'd woken up yet, and he had. He had a vision, and I honestly don't remember all the details about the vision, but there was a angel-looking thing that went up into the sky, and he had a little talk with his person that is controlling him, and they said that he needs to find a golden heart, I think it was, and he relayed that information to us when we caught up, and then we were eating, and then that's like the really quick version of everything that we did.
And that's pretty much the gist of it. That's basically everything. I believe Fee is going to be performing with the dancers, but that's pretty much about it. I would give you a DM inspiration, but you already have one. So I'll just give you a thank you instead. And maybe, you know, I'll remember this day, and your character will avoid death.
Sure. Yeah. Can the DM inspiration be used for like ability checks too, in case we don't end up in combat?
It can be used for any D20 roll. It can be used for a death saving throw. It can be used for skills, saving throws, anything.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Because I always think of using it for combat, and I always forget whenever you tell me to roll for something. It's like I always forget that I could use it for that.
Yeah. I try to remember to give it out as often as possible, but it depends on the situation.
Forget to use it.
It's you know, just make sure to look at your character sheet and see if you have that little dragon stamp in the upper corner. Inspiration. All right, but continuing, I believe the last thing that we did specifically when we left off, I told you guys that it had started to rain. I believe that's the last thing we really stated. You guys are sort of all one moment. Outside of the Clamfield Inn. All of you guys are staying, actually. Has just met up with Dancer, who has already told you about his and the like, or at least what he wanted to tell you about it.
Yeah, and when from what I remember, he was very stressed out when he woke up. Like he was a little snapped.
Was, I believe. You guys have quite a while until it's to go meet up with Looker. You guys have at least maybe about 6, 7, 8 hours, something along those lines. It's kind of or late afternoon at the moment. The the fishermen are kind of the business and the market is getting like a little bit slower, and they're all sort of kind of putting away the stuff they want to put on ice, and they're kind of salting the things that they want to preserve, and some of them are kind of descaling some of the fish from the market. It seems that a lot of people are starting on their commute to go to the tavern, which is Tankards and Tumbles, in case you didn't remember. And all is pretty well and peaceful at the moment. Nothing abnormal going on. What'd you guys like to do?
Well, we did decide that we were just gonna wait till midnight, right?
Well, I was thinking actually, I know Fee really wanted to do her little performance, and we might be able to do that before we go to our meetup. I would hate for her to miss that. I know she was looking forward.
You ready?
Sure, let's go there then.
We totally should wait till midnight and go for our appointment with Looker.
Oh wait, never mind. I forgot it's the last session, so I'm still angry dancer. Let me go. Let me go back to angry dance.
So, does anybody need to do anything before we settle in? Does anyone need to buy anything or collect anything or talk to anyone?
I don't need anything.
Okay.
I had to leave and rejoin. It didn't even disconnect. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, you guys should have plenty of time if Fee were to want to go to the tavern and perform. Shouldn't take so long as you guys would, like, miss your meeting or anything.
I think if we don't have any plan around it, we could go to the tavern first, just to like chilling there. And after we're done, then we can go and meet the Looker guy.
Yeah, there are also places that you haven't been in the village yet. Well, I mean,
Like
a lot of places, but I mean, there's a couple. Also, I believe you have to pick up dancer.
But yeah, I have to pick it up in tomorrow's time, though.
Yeah. Just a reminder.
All right, let's go to the tavern for now. And, you know, if anything catches our eye on the way there, we can check.
Alrighty.
I
So,
wonder
on
where
your-
we have not been.
Your little meander, your little walk over to the tavern. It's been very busy after you guys sort of entered here. You were at first concerned with room and board, and then you guys were concerned with investigating things and the sirens, and you were mainly kind of focused on the tavern and the like, and you kind of just passed up this small little quaint thing. Or at least you thought it was signless until you... And it seems to be the general store of the village from the tavern. And if everyone wants to make a perception check for other stuff...
Sure.
Couldn't hurt.
Let's see.
I'm focused on something else, I guess.
You really want to go to the tavern. You really like that drink. And that's kind of what you're focused on.
I was wondering what
Moon
we have missed around town.
and Dancer, you guys notice kind of buried in between a couple of the buildings that are sort of they're houses, but they're a little away from the housing district. Kind of nestled in between two of those houses is a what looks like a small. It has a chimney with smokestacks kind of billowing out of it, and looking closely on it, it has this sort of candy-colored sign that is very bright
In the color.
reds, yellow, green, and then some blue lettering. It says Jolly's Trinkets.
Oh, look at that, guys. Jolly's Trinkets. Sounds like some weird magic shop.
Ooh, we got time. I think we can check that out.
Sure, let's hop in.
Alrighty.
Cheerful pirate in the morning.
So, as you guys approach
Hungry and sleepy. Oh,
a closer
little bit
look
cold.
at the building, it sort of has a rundown wooden exterior with stone detailing along the bottom ridges of the walls. The doors are sort of a dark oak wood with these sort of they're gold doorknobs, but they're not made out of gold. They're made out of brass and they're painted gold. And it has a small little window in the door frame. And as you guys open it, this little doorbell above kind of rings, and you see it's a rather small shop. It looks like he has the majority of the showing room, maybe about 15 feet by 15 feet, maybe a little larger. And there's only one person in here at the moment. It is a sort of a slightly chubbier and kind of average height human man. He has a full head of that sort of is greased back with some sort of pompadour oil or something of that sort. And he's wearing these sort of kind of jean-like fabric overalls, and he's kind of hunched over the counter, and he looks over to you guys after the doorbell.
Okay.
And he says, "Hello.
Hello.
Jolly's Trinkets. We have a lot of stuff. A lot of it's useless, but you know, life is also useless. So you know, maybe you'll find something you like."
Yeah.
Ironic. Man's not very jolly for store advertises being a jolly train.
Oh yeah, that's like the first thing you notice about this guy. He does not look very jolly. He's this sort of depressed, kind of greased back hair and
He reminds me of
just
another character
bags
too,
under
but
his eyes, kind of pale face.
I want to look
Doesn't
around.
he
You're
look-
not
he's like a
if
used car
something catches
salesman or
my eye.
something.
Everyone wants to say something.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, let's go down the list in order of the Discord. All right, Fee, what were you saying?
P was just saying, well, you are not so useless being the shopkeeper.
I guess I'm not so useless, but it's not exactly my dream job. And then, I heard you said that you were looking out for something that would interest your eye. Kevin, did you say anything?
Not yet. I was just
Okay.
gonna chat with the innkeeper. I was gonna say, so what kind of trinkets do you have? Preferably the not useless.
Why?
I mean, it depends on your definition of useless. One man's trash can be another man's treasure, as they say. I think it's all trash, but whatever.
I didn't hear that.
Well, in terms of things that might be technically not useless, I have a couple of little nicks and bobbles. If you want to look around first, you can, or I can sit here and show everything to you. It would take a while.
What do you find the most interesting one?
Thing that interests me the most. Why not? And
Cannot
Dancer, did you have anything
question.
you wanted to say? It's just like everyone was kind of like talking over one
Oh
another. So I wanna
yeah,
make sure.
I was just making a joke that he's basically a used car salesman.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a pretty accurate description. I would say that's a pretty accurate description. Moonshadow, as you were kind of meandering around the store for like a little bit while they were talking for a couple. Give me an investigation check as you're looking for things that kind of just stick out. As you're sort of walking down, he has like these wooden shelves that are backed up against the walls, and there's also multiple rows, and it's just kind of a bunch of random stuff. Um, out of
Okay, father.
like small figurines that are just kind of random, like little like wood carved figurines. Some of them are made out of soap. He has sort of yellowed paper, but it's pretty old. He has ink bottles. Some of them aren't even filled up all the way. He has lots of like little random knickknacks, like foreign currency, which really old and doesn't seem like it's worth anything anymore. Kind of like a very niche collector's item. He has lots of obscure.
I freaking don't have detect magic.
And he kind of goes into this he kind of goes like underneath his counter whenever you guys ask him to pull out like the stuff he finds the most interesting, and he kind of brings up this little what looks to be like a tackle box like you'd keep like fish hooks and stuff in. It has like multiple little small layers, and he's like, well, are you, but I like stamps.
Can you show me?
The only thing I really like. But yeah, so these are stamps, and he slides some stamps towards you. They don't really do anything, but they're stamps, and you can use them to mail stuff. Is actually now to take a look at you. You kind of look like you're like the adventuring type.
Are you a collector?
Yeah. All right. Well, I might have a single stamp that might be a little it's a little pricey, but I mean it's something. And he kind of goes down and he pulls out this very large stamp that's about the size of those sort of those temporary tattoos stamp sort of sticker thing. This stamp, it's enchanted. Cool thing when you put it on, gives you a lot of adrenaline. It's kind of like them down here anymore, but kind of like a nicotine patch. Sets that down on the counter. And let's see, other stuff I have. If you got okay, so let me just be real with you. What are you guys looking for? You know,
I'm looking for treasure, so I was trying
Treasure?
to see what you see as a treasure. I'm
The only
seeing
thing I see as a
contact.
treasure are stamps. Stamps.
Sir, do you
I mean,
also
do you?
do
Sorry.
the mail service?
I do not. I don't have enough passion for mail. I just like stamps.
Just like some.
So not the whole letter and envelope thing, just particularly the stamp.
Yeah, just the stamp. I think it's cool, the little images that are on there. And then I really like the new ones that they're coming up with. Like, I don't know if you guys have been to Nice Trad before. I went there like like about 2 years ago. And they have these little holographic stamps with cats.
I used to live in
Tiny.
Nightshade, actually.
Oh, he's.
Oh, maybe you've seen the
Nice
stamps
Trad.
before.
I can't say that I did, but you know, next time I'm there, I'll check. I'll look.
Good.
Sounds mostly
They're really
fishing.
interesting. Yeah, I have one right here, and he kind of pulls out this small stamp. It has like a little, it has like that rainbow like sheen to it. Like when he moves it back and forth, it has this little image of a cat, and it moves slightly. This one, it's funny.
Do you have anything that would help me to not get hit in combat, like something enchanted, like your like your little stamp?
Well, this little the stamp I just showed you, I only have one, but this one technically makes it harder to hit you. It gives you a lot of adrenaline, buddy, like a lot. Fast, So that would help. Make it harder to hit you. I have some camouflaging cloaks, but they're not magical. They just happen to match the color of the terrain
Are
around
you
here.
willing to part with that spam?
I'm willing to part with pretty much everything in the store. Other stuff that is magical kind of turns around. I
As
have.
it turns around, I'm like bending down, Fee, check if it's magical. Out of character. If somebody has detect magic, I would appreciate it.
Detect magic?
Yeah. Check if the stamp's magical.
I don't have check magic.
Oh, shoot.
I only have this spell magic if that's what you're looking for.
No, don't dispel it. My God.
No, I'm just saying I don't have the check
Just
magic
spell it.
property.
Do it.
Oh gosh, nobody can
Oh.
detect magic? Seriously?
I really don't have, since like if I remember correctly, Moon, you said you want to have a pearl so that you can wait, is that
I have identify. That's why I don't have detect magic, because I have identify.
oh
Yeah. That takes 10 minutes though. It's like detect magic is like that.
Yeah.
oh, crap.
Let's see what he pulls out. Let's see what he pulls out.
I'm
I
not
wanna see
I'm not
them
sure if the
curse items.
if it's actually really magical. That's why I was looking for a person with detect magic.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind when we level up, so that I put detect magic in my cantrip then.
Level up, you mean gain bardic knowledge?
Oh, I mean out of character.
Yeah, I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just got
Yeah,
carried away. Out of
he
character.
turns around and he has
carried
more
away.
of those. So he has more of these strange figurines. Ones in particular are very well made. Says these little things, these right here. I only have this. This is the one. Well, I have two. One of them is really expensive. But here, and he shows you this sort of silver statuette of a raven.
So he.
Has this sort of jade owl statue. Statue is really, really expensive. I guess I can demonstrate for you. A raven statue in the air, and then he says, "Shaboodle." Statue turns into an actual raven, flies in midair as it slowly transforms from this sort of silver white color into the dark black color that's sort of common of ravens, and its feathers slowly grow out of the statue. It flutters in midair and flies onto his shoulder. He's like, you can kind of tell this little guy to go places and talk to people for you.
Can he see things and then tell us about it while he's in the air?
He can mimic sounds, but no, he doesn't have like mind abilities or anything. Sort of like an animal messenger.
Cool, and what does the owl do?
Well, let me show you. He kind of claps his hands, shaboodle, and then the raven turns back into a statuette. It's like the owl, the jade statue into the air, and he sort of he points his finger at it, and this sort of light kind of emanates from the tip of his finger.
Right.
And he says,
I was going to do that.
and the owl turns from the sort of jade green, it grows its feathers, it grows in midair. It looks like a combination between a horn owl and a barn owl. And it's sort of tall and slender rather than short and stocky. And he says, this guy actually can communicate. He's just a really big owl.
Does it
He can
transform?
talk to you in your mind. That's what he does.
He
Let us
gonna
fly.
stand in front of the owl and then say, hello.
The owl, you hear in your mind, hello.
Ooh, you can talk. You can really talk. Oh my god, you're so gorgeous.
Why, thank you. He kind of ruffles his neck into his feathers, and you can see he's a little chubby. He's a little chubby owl.
Okay, I have some
Wait,
message.
Well, Fee seems to be hitting it off with the owl.
I
So,
like cute thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, as for enchanted stuff, that's about it. I have some soap that makes you smell better than normal. Good.
Yeah. So, how much you willing to part for the stamp there?
The stamp.
Let's hear price.
Let's see. He pulls out this small little book and he starts flipping through it. He's like, "This is a log of all of my stuff. I like to keep track of how much the prices are when I first get the items." And he's sort of flipping through it. The stamp, I can part with it for, I think 300 gold.
I don't have that much.
Just keep in mind it is like a one-use thing.
One use, huh?
It is a one-use thing.
Well, it's all yours, Moon, if you want it.
No, I was having my eye on the owl.
All right, the owl. The owl will run you about 500 gold. The raven will run you about 250.
Oh.
Yup.
If you don't have the money at the moment, don't worry, because I don't get any customers. So,
Wait, what?
Oh, okay. We are planning to come back a little bit later, so
Sir,
However-
can I buy some stamps that are beautiful so that I can send a letter back my home?
I have lots of stamps. I have so many stamps. What's your favorite animal?
he's a collector.
Mm,
Insect.
maybe some flowers since I'm sending to my mom.
Not an animal, but yeah, I have some with flowers on them. He's like, he's kind of like, he pulls out this huge, just like, bin, and he's like, all right, so, do you like flowers or do you like pretty flowers?
They
Yeah,
Or
I'm
both.
sending to my mom. Of course, pretty flowers.
It's not sure.
Something
And he
that-
starts peering through it.
Something that could represent the town so that I can tell her about my adventure here.
Oh, represent the town? Okay. Yeah. How many stamps do you want to buy first off? Like, how
We're
many?
in Shelltown. How that's supposed to
Maybe
represent the
4
tower.
since I'm sending to my whole family.
Four? Okay. Now, usually my stamps are, 2 copper a piece. I do have a special where you can buy 10 of these for 1 silver piece.
Oh, then I'll take those then.
Okay. If you want something representing this town, I have stamps of water lilies, which are, you know, I mean, they're sort of, pretty neat. I also have some with seaweed that has flowers on it. I don't know if you're into that.
Well,
I have some
Can-
coastal reeds, which aren't really flowers, but
Wait, so
Hopefully
if
this
he is
they don't
buying
come down
them,
with
is she
you.
buying the whole set? The like 10 that has one from
You can get
each of
10.
those.
You can get 10 of any stamp. So you could get 5 of one, 5 of another, any combination
Oh,
as long as it's 10.
I would like to buy each things two. Is that okay? So I will be have five different stamp.
Okay, sure, I can do that for you. All right. So here's
And
2
just
of the
in
water
double.
lilies. Here's 2 of the reeds. This is 2 of the seaweed with flowers. I do have some of this sort of red algae, which is really pretty. That kind of comes in the season. It comes around here every now and then. It's sort of red, pink, orange. So there's 2 of those. One, oh, I can't decide. And he's kind of like looking at this box, and he's like,
He
uh,
gonna see what he's get her.
well, I can't decide between these pond roses. And he just
Yes.
shows you this picture of it's like this
Pleasant
long
girl.
vine in the water but has roses springing from it. So this sort of predatory plant, but it's pretty cute looking. Growths on it that look like bumblebees that make other insects that eat bumblebees. And then the flower eats it. But it's a pretty looking flower. It looks a lot more natural than
Oh, that sounds
uh
like my sister. I'll take the predator one, please.
these are called imitator tulips in case you're ever wondering. So
This
just
gives
one
me
silver piece, and
excited
those
about
are
some.
all yours.
Also, do you have some envelopes so that I can write letters?
Envelopes. Yeah, I've got plenty of stationery equipment.
Oh, can I buy some papers and some envelopes, please?
We'll
Also
tell
pen.
you that if you want an entire stationery set, I can give you a whole stationery set that comes with paper, envelopes, and ink, and a pen for just one gold piece. Low,
She
low
gonna
price.
immediately pull out from her pocket one silver piece for the stamp set and also one gold piece for this whole stationery set.
Very good. He turns around. He's like, "Would you like a bag for that, ma'am? Would you like plastic or paper?"
Yes.
As he sort of paper.
Heck,
So paper bag, ma'am.
Yeah.
And he
oh,
he
okay.
puts your stamps in a small envelope and he seals it and he puts it in the baggie. And then he also pulls out. He gets about so he gives you a stationery set, which it's gonna have 15 sheets of paper,
Okay.
envelopes, a quill pen, ink. Well, ma'am, thank you very much for your business. He wraps up the paper bag. There you go. I hope you enjoy your stationery set and your stamps.
Thank you. Oh, do you know where if after I'm done with all the letters and stuff, where can I send the mail to?
Usually, um, as long as you're in a big enough village or town or city, pretty much everyone has one, but you can talk to the general store owners place, and most general stores they sort of serve as also the mail receptacle.
Interesting.
Okay, I get it. Thank you.
Very welcome. Is there anything else I can do for you? Are you sure you're not interested in that soap? It smells really good.
I mean, how much is the soap?
The soap
5
is
copper.
supposed to make
For
it.
the
5
regular soap. If you want the magical soap, it's a silver.
I'll take the magical soap.
Alrighty. Do.
I'm curious.
He has these sort of small cardboard boxes that he takes this soap that's almost glowing with like a luminous sheen. And it's like, you know how sometimes like when you use bars of soap, like they kind of get like that the sort of soap grime on them, and they kind of, yeah, these don't have any sense of wear or tear at all. And he just puts it in the little box, wraps it up. Yep, 1 silver piece.
Hey,
Okay.
To
I
you.
would like a set of soap too. We're gonna put 1 gold coin also on the table.
Oh wow, gold. Okay, so do you want 10 of the magical soap, or do you want 20 of the regular soap?
The magical one.
Okay.
Oh, he
Yeah.
has more than 1 magical soap. In that case, I'll also take 10 and give him a gold instead. Oh no, I can't. How much was the thing I had to pay for the other guy? Was it 5 gold or was it 2.5 gold?
I believe you already
The
paid.
Oh yeah, that's right. I paid in advance. Yeah, that's true. In that case, I'll also give him 1 gold coin and get 10 magical soaps.
Man, you guys are buying them out.
Okay, 20 magical soap. Yeah, I other than stamps, I also like soap. I make a lot of soap. So yeah, I've got plenty. I'm sorry if you don't like the designs of some of these. I don't have like enough of the regular soap, so some of these are going to be shaped like stuff. And as he's kind of saying this as he's packaging it all up, and he puts it in like another brown bag. Would you like these bags separately, or is it okay if they're in the same bag?
Just put them separately in tens,
Oh my
please.
god. Magical
Sure
soap.
thing. There you go. He hands 1 bag to Fee and 1 bag to you, Dancer. Is that all you would? Is that all I could? Is that? Sorry. Is there anything else I can do for you, or is that gonna be all?
That is 10 bar of soap, right?
Yes, magical soap.
Magical one.
Magical soap.
Well, I'm good.
Well, thinking about it,
We're
I'll
going to be
buy some
magically
soap.
clean now.
Righty.
Does it smell nice?
What are you asking?
I'm asking if it smells nice.
It smells really good. You can smell some if you would like. It kind of has like this. It's like a and he has lots of different scents, but they all smell good. Some of them are kind of more grassy fields. Some of them are like very strong floral scents. Some of them they were like incense type smells. A lot of different stuff. Some of them are kind of custom blends.
I'd like to buy a few soaps with a different smell.
Sure thing. How many would you like?
How many different varieties do you have?
I have a lot. I can go through a list if you'd like, but I mean it's gonna take a while.
Soap now.
Here, I mean, I can kind of
You make-
limit the options a bit. I mean, do you like fruit smells? Do you like natural smells? Do you like do you like aromatherapy? Is that something you're into? Do you like floral scents? Do you like citrus?
I like
Do you
all
like
of
the
the above.
ocean, etc.?
Yeah, I like all of the above. So which one is your favorite?
Okay, the ones I would recommend. So, I have this soap that smells like passion berries, which smell heavenly, and he kind of whiffs it under your nose. It's this strong but sweet and almost relaxing scent. It smells like a fruit, and as its name, passion berry, but it also has this sort of spice to it, kind of as if it was like cinnamon that really just kicks in. It smells really good.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like at least
what
few
about
bars
the
of
sea?
that one and few bars of the other soaps. I would like one that smells at least one. No, I'm taking 2 that smells like an ocean. I'm taking 2 that smells like flowers. How many different type of flowers do you have?
Oh, there are a lot of different flowers that there's a lot. I think if you're looking for the ocean, definitely it's gonna be my ocean breeze soap. Lets you smell that one. It smells.
Okay.
It smells. He kind of perfectly captured the saltiness of the ocean, but he also made sure that it didn't smell bad. It was crisp and fresh. The thing that you would put on before going to a party. And he puts 2 of those in boxes. He puts 2 of those, 2 of the passion berries. Floral scents. There's so many. Water roses are really good if you want sort of a combination between floral and the ocean.
Yeah, I take 2 of those too.
Ready? He packages those up. Other floral scents. Tiger lilies smell pretty good, I would say.
2 of those too. Tiger lily.
You're at 6 bars of soap right now, by the way.
Yeah, I would take 2 more of the passion berries, so make the passion berries 4.
Okay.
2 of the rest, and I think that's 10, right?
It is 10. Okay. He puts it in a bag. There you go. It's just going to be 1 gold piece.
Add 2 more from the incense stuff, like.
Okay.
1 gold and something.
He packages those up. So
Yes,
you
this very
got.
big smile being Moon
1
just
gold and
buy
something.
all those.
You've got 4 of the passion berries. You got 2 ocean breezes. You have 2 of the. I believe you said you liked the water rose,
The water roses and the tiger lilies.
the tiger lilies, and then you also wanted 2 of the incense ones. So that's going to be 1 gold and 2 silver for 12 bars of soap.
There you go.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the business. This will help me survive the winter.
Would you like to buy some soap too? Since we had the soap set.
The peer pressure is real in this party, I will tell you that.
Come on.
Alright, I'll bite. Everyone else is buying magic soap. I guess I'll buy some magic soap. I don't want a whole bag of them though.
We're the best smelling bunch of adventurers.
Yeah, do you have anything that smells like sweet brandy?
My internet. Okay, repeat what you said. I'm back now.
Do you have anything that smells like sweet brandy?
Magic soap.
It smells like sweet. You said?
Alcohol, like a sweet wine or something like that.
So you want to smell like
Ooh.
a drunkard all the time?
Of course not. Don't be as silly. I just
idea.
Alcohol. I have some honey
I can
mead
assure you, Simon,
scent.
the smell of wine and stuff is really good.
What about something that smells like a blacksmith? You have anything like that?
Okay, so you're kind of like a woodsman type of guy, kind of an outdoorsy guy. So you kind of want something that's a bit more like on the manly side, I guess, is kind of what you're asking.
Sure. What about the smell of like right after you fire your gun and you get that nice smell? I love that
I have
smell.
I have some that smells like
You
charcoal.
don't need soap for that. You smell like that in a regular
You're
basis.
into charcoal,
Oh, yeah. Give me some charcoal.
right?
I
He
think
gives you
some wood
It smells like
Bar
gunpowder
of
on a
soap.
regular basis.
smells so awesome.
1 bar of soap is all I need.
right. He gives you this bar of charcoal soap. It smells of like old fire and wood, and it's really nice. Even though wood doesn't exist in this world, mushroom charcoal. But it smells really good.
Like a wood burner.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We gonna immediately take the shopkeeper man's hand and then talk really happy and stuff. You have all this amazing soap. You should keep up the business with them.
Yeah, I
Is that
hope
all?
to. I live in.
I
So
got magic soap.
unfortunately, I mean, I get business for soap. That's about it. I wish people would be interested in my other stuff, but you know,
What?
like soap.
I don't need a
Like
bag
what?
for my bar of soap. I'll just throw it in my pack.
Sure thing. Thank you for your purchase. Yeah, my dream is to kind of move. I want to go to Nystrad because that place was really.
Nice dad? Oh, you can also contact my family there. They're running a bathhouse business, also the tavern too, since we're the best in town. So here's the address. Fee gonna
He's kind of like stumbling around. He's like, as you're like giving him like this like paper. He's like, oh no, okay, uh, thank you.
just tell them that Fee told you to be their special guest. That's treatment in all nice thread.
Sure thing, and he kind of gives you the first genuine smile he's given any of you since you came in here. You can tell that he has like that kind of salesman smile, you know, and like this is like the first like genuine one he has. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I hope
What's the name of that place, Fee?
Is Jolly's Trinkets?
No, the bathhouse she's talking about.
Oh.
Oh. Believe it or not, it's Fifi throwing in. Wait, let me just write that down because I cannot.
I cannot pronounce it.
A little bit of a tongue twister.
Wait, your family owns that place? That is a nice place.
Yep, we're the best, but still incognito right now.
It's a nice place.
Fee, I already liked you, but now I love you.
Aww. So right after that, Fee gonna talk about her. Fee gonna set her full name, which is Fee throw in, so that it just a little like I'm just trying to play a little pun with the spelling, so that her bathhouse ex tavern thing gonna be, you know, kind of like this. It. Like that.
Yes, that is very punny.
And then Fee had this very big smile, imagining all her teammates coming to her business establishment and then have fun together, things like that. She has this very big smile on her face.
That's interesting.
Again, thank you for shopping. I'll make sure to, if you guys are still going to be interested in the figurines, I'll definitely make sure to kind of keep it on hold for you for a while.
Yeah.
If you come across some gold.
Well, I surely had some fun and some interest in that owl, but maybe I'll keep that in mind also.
Alrighty, well you guys have a good day, okay? Make sure you don't get too soaked by the rain.
Thank you. Oh gosh, my
Kind of waves you off as you guys, unless you guys have something else you want to say to him. He kind of waves you off as you guys exit out of the door. The doorbell rings again. The rain is lightened up, but it's still pouring down a little bit.
I'm gonna hold my single soap in my hand out and try to suds it up in the rain.
It does set up in the rain.
I'm just gonna put a little around my neck and then wash.
You put some around your neck, you almost feel this sort of kind of tingling in your skin, like where you put the soap, and it's like it's kind of therapeutic. Just for the actual specifics of the soap, can't get dirty at all. But like basically anytime you guys get like dirty you take a bath or something with the soap, it kind of does prestidigitation automatically to clean yourself once per application.
Many years of prestidigitation.
That's pretty cool.
Alright, I'm gonna throw my soap back in my pack now.
Sure thing.
That did the trick. Well, I admit it. That was a good purchase. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I have a lot of soap.
Very nice soap, little nice soap buying sesh we had.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Soap
not
and
sure why we
standby.
needed to buy 33 bars of soap, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Different occasions. You never know what scent you are going to need.
I mean,
Yep.
and the funny thing I forgot is that I didn't even need them much because I already have like the butterfly ring which emits a pleasant odor, so I basically have walking perfume with me.
Oh yeah, you do have that, don't you? I forgot.
So you smell like flowers all the time, Dancer?
Yes, and there's like a lot of butterflies flying around me all the
Oh my
time.
gosh.
All right, so I think your guys' next stop was the tavern. There's also
Yep.
the general store as well, but
Yeah, sending
They're not.
gold.
Tavern, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need anything with the general store just yet, I don't think.
So you guys walk over back to Tankards and Tumbles. Business is booming once again, just like it was when you first arrived in Shelltown. The acrobats, the elves, the elven twins are dancing once again, and as soon as you guys step through the door, it only takes the sister about maybe to notice Fee kind of like within the audience, and she kind of brightens up and she smiles in your direction, Fee, kind of like waving at you while she's doing this dancing and stuff.
Gonna also very happy wave back at her.
Alrighty. Yeah. So you guys have seen their performances a few times, and they're kind of like reaching the sort of climax of the performance, so it probably won't take too much longer for it to be done. In the meantime, the adventuring party that you had seen before they're all back again. The barbarian woman is no longer alone. They seem to hang out here a lot. At the counter, he seems to actually be pretty busy right now. There's about 10 people at the counter ordering drinks, and he's kind of handing them all out and shaking and doing bartender things. His staff are kind of like running around bringing out food and the like to people in the tavern.
I'm just gonna find a seat for now.
Alrighty, you sit down at a sort of circular wooden table off towards like a kind of like one of the center corners, like kind of central little places. Is there anything in particular any of you guys want to do while you're
gonna
waiting?
pull out her instrument and then play some notes first, just to get the gist of what the twin brother and sister are playing.
Right. So you're kind of like silently playing your instrument, kind of matching it to like the rhythm of their movements and stuff, and you're kind of getting a hang of it.
So that it just my it just like so that you can understand them better.
Oh, of course.
Okay, performance.
Oh, do you want to? Okay, yeah, you can roll a performance check if you'd like. Nice. Yeah, you're definitely in sync. Rhythm is on point. All your years of musical training did not go to waste.
I'm sitting down in a corner with my mother veil, and I'm keeping an eye on the tavern and of the patrons, just in case something shifty is happening.
Okay, cool. The dwarven man that Reginald arm wrestled with the first day He's kind of going around challenging like random patrons and the like, doing that sort of thing.
I totally forgot about that.
Nothing of interest peeks out to you. It's just sort of a normal day in a tavern. Answer, are you doing anything in particular?
No.
You're kind of just standing. You're just being a wallflower at the moment, just kind of standing around.
I'm gonna pull out my playing card set and start shuffling it.
Okay. Make a So I'm gonna say make a performance check, but it's not because you're actively trying to perform. It's more because I want to see if anybody notices you playing cards. Alrighty. We'll get to that. You guys kind of like do your own thing. Moon Shadows. You guys are all sort of separated at the moment. Fee is kind of like placed up, like sitting on this sort of barrel, playing her instrument. Reginald is off playing cards on a table. Moon Shadows sitting in a corner, just kind of keeping an eye on things. Dancer, you're kind of just perceiving as well, just kind of standing around. The acrobats eventually finish their performance, and they go, "We'll be back once more." They kind of give a bow. Eris goes over and walks over to Silas, and then Valet walks over to Yuffie, and she says, "Oh, it's so nice to see you again. I'm very excited for our performance."
Me too. I can't wait to be in sync with you and connect to you.
Be very, very nice. I noticed that you were playing while we were dancing, and you were kind of going in sync. It sounded very good. I could hear it over the hustle and bustle of the patrons. It elevates our performance to the next level.
I hope I can be some help for you.
Be very nice, and feel free to dance as well. And she kind of gives you a smile. Our next performance will be in about maybe 20 minutes. Just be ready, okay?
I'll be.
Kind of waves her hand and then goes over to where her brother is at the counter with Silas, and they both kind of get a drink. Looks like they're just drinking water. Seems about right.
Yeah.
Moonshadow, nothing really sticking out to you once again. Reginald, two men walk up to your table. One of them looks like a sort of a kind of scrawny older gentleman. He's wearing that kind of standard fisherman's hat. He has a white sort of plain t-shirt on that has like a couple of stains on it. And then there's also another sort of younger gentleman who looks a bit more refined, but he's still sort of a sort of garb. And they go, "I see you're playing cards. You wouldn't mind if we throw it down a little bit, would you?"
By all means.
They pull up seats at your table, and you guys all begin to play cards. Do you want to gamble?
Sure.
Alrighty. The old man kind of looks at you all. He says, "All right. Well, it's been a little while since I'll be the first one to put a little bit in the pot." And he looks really confident and proud as he slides 2 silver pieces into the middle of the table, giving you guys all like a dry smile.
Gigi, do we see that Reggie is trying to gamble with some guy?
Probably. It's not really hidden because they're kind of just playing at a table, but the younger gentleman
my
matches his
stakes
bet.
over here, and I put in 2 silver pieces of my own.
Alrighty. He kind of, as you put in the same amount, he's kind of like looks at you kind of cautiously.
Reggie, you have the bardic inspiration also from Fee, since she will be shouting from behind you, "Get all their money!"
The younger gentleman puts in 2 silver as well, And we're probably how we're gonna do this is we're just going to roll. We're gonna roll. Okay, so roll me a d20. Also roll me a d8, or I mean a d6.
Ready to have a bardic inspiration.
Add the bardic inspiration to your d20.
Get all the money! Yay!
Ready? So let's see. You got a 9 and a 4. You can add the bardic inspiration to your d20 also if you would like to, and you can also use your DM inspiration on that if you want.
Not on the first hand.
Alrighty. So, you guys kind of sit there. You're playing a game that's similar to blackjack. And as you guys sort of all flip over your cards, looking around the table, the younger gentleman seems to have the best hand, and he says, "Well, as to be expected." And he kind of pulls the coin over to his side of the table, and he says, "Why not increase the stakes?" And he slides in 4 silver into the middle of the table from the pot that he had previously won.
At this point, I
And
want
then,
to stand up and walk around that table, but I just want to walk behind the other guys. Like, I want to check if they're cheating. I want to observe and see if they're actually cheating during that game.
Okay, you can make an insight check. The old man kind of says,
Yay.
"Oh, 4 silver. Oh, a little,
Nope.
gets
That's
my
totally not
adrenaline
cheating.
pumping." And he slides 4 silver into the middle of the table.
I
Yeah.
will also put in 4 silver.
No moon.
I don't see a thing.
So you think they're cheating? Like, really? You really think they're cheating? It really upsets you.
Oh no.
Damn.
Alright, I put in another 4 silver.
Alrighty. Roll me another d20 and a d6.
You can do it, Reggie.
Well, at this point you really would think they're cheating because he's rolling so low.
Alright, a 4 and a 2. Next round, the older gentleman says, "Well, my lucky day." He pulls the coins onto his side of the table. And he puts in, he says, he puts 3 silver into the pot. The younger gentleman does the same. And they kind of both look at you, kind of slyly, mockingly.
I say, well, unfortunately, gentlemen, I've run out of silver. So I pull out a gold coin and put it in the middle of
Oh, here comes the big one.
They both get wide-eyed as you just slam a gold coin onto the table, and they kind of look at each other. I'm willing to match that. Fuck it. And he takes the silver
like
back
they're
and puts a
playing
gold
poker.
coin on the table. The younger gentleman is like, "You drive a hard bargain, but smiling on me today." He kind of pulls his silver back and puts a gold coin in the middle. 20 and a d6.
I'm totally observing that game.
I mean, you already think they're cheating, so.
Yeah.
I want to use my inspiration on this one.
I want
Alrighty,
to
you
use
can
my
roll
mage
2
hand
d20s.
on that one. I want
You can
to
do
try
it.
to sabotage their card game with my mage hand and try to make them lose.
So I got a 17 is my high roll, plus a 3 for the bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Can I give them
make
like
sure to also-
disadvantage? With
Okay,
my
so
mage
what are
hand?
you using? You're
I'm using mage hand to distract them.
I already got advantage for myself.
I want to impose
So,
disadvantage on
keep-
them.
Keep in mind that you're not an arcane trickster and that your mage hand is not invisible. So
Oh, shoot.
So basically, you would be obviously cheating when he's already rolled a 20.
Oh.
Okay.
Reminding you in case like you forgot. You would like to. To you though. It's your call.
No, I want to distract them then.
Okay. So that's basically sort of like a help action. I'll let you roll another d6. Reginald. Also, I believe Fee's Bardic Inspiration die is a d8, so. And there's a
26
big
total.
6. Yeah. You guys show your cards.
It's 8.
And you won. You got the highest total out of all of them. They got really close, but they didn't get as high as you. So yeah, that's 2 gold added to your gold pile, and if you'd like to keep going, you can keep going.
Nice.
The older gentleman says, "Well, I'm afraid that's all the pocket money I'm willing to spend. It's been nice playing with you, gentlemen." And he stands up and leaves. The younger man
No, I'm not
play some more.
Sir. My mage hand is busy. Well, here.
Stop fueling their guys' gambling addiction, man.
I'll keep going as long as my companions are willing to put up with it.
He's gonna lose his house.
Young gentleman says, "All right, let's do this."
Well,
And he puts 5 gold in the middle of the table.
Holy shit.
the money they got. Wait, how much is that?
5 gold.
Gambling
Oh,
session.
okay.
That's a lot.
I'll match him.
You look like the adventuring type, so I suppose you would have a lot of money.
Of course.
I'm not helping with this one.
The luckiest man win. Go ahead and roll your dice.
Though he's gonna roll a net 1. Okay. Close.
Oh, there's the Bardic Inspiration. Ready? Go ahead and roll a d6 as well.
Oh,
12.
no.
Well, that Bardic Inspiration really helps you. You show your cards, and you beat them by a point.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I give him a little wink and I say, well, that was fun.
That's another 5 gold added to your pool. That's all I'm willing to spend. Nice to meet you. My name's Nick. He holds his hand out towards you.
I shake his hand and say, Reginald Copperpot, remember the name.
Oh well.
Copperpot.
Kind of gives you a nod, stands up, looking a little defeated but satisfied, and leaves the table.
The fastest gambler and stamp collector in the world, Reginald Copperpot.
You definitely got more out of that than you put in. So
Yeah, I let him win the first 2 rounds to let him feel at ease.
build up your confidence. It's a wise strategy, very wise.
Yeah.
Okay. And Dancer, you're still kind of looking around.
Yeah.
You guys kind of sit around. That card game did take about pretty much about as long as acrobats were waiting. So the acrobats come back out, and they kind of valet walks up to Yuffie, and she drags you like into like the center of the sort of performance floor, and she's like, "Everyone, this is a new friend of ours. Her name is Fee, and she's going to be playing music for us to accompany. Please give her a round of applause." And all the patrons kind of clap and they cheer. She kind of
Dramatic
bends over
cheer
to your height. Oh,
What?
yes, you do have that. Sure, what would you like to turn the pattern into?
The same thing that the the twins are wearing, and then after that, Fee gonna use some spell. Is fireworks.
Okay.
Things like okay.
That's good. So yeah, you change your cloak. They're sort of wearing a kind of simple black and white ensemble with some sort of like shiny, sort of silver here and there. So you kind of take your cloak to match that, and all the people in the tavern kind of watch in bewilderment as your cloak just completely changes colors, and then you also start summoning little puffs of smoke and sparks to like make like firework effects. They are definitely very interested at like the edge of the seats and like all the sort of like rabble rousing that was going on before is kind of calming down as everyone's sort of like looking at this performance that seems like it's going to be very different from the norm. And the acrobats start doing their thing, and I'd like you to make a performance check with advantage and kind of go along.
I hope I do. My God.
Oh, 17 is pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah,
not
you
the last one. Sorry. 20.
all right. 20 definitely is very nice. The crowd is sort of like really into it. They're quiet the whole time, but it's not a bad quiet. They just seem to be in awe as your music is perfectly in sync with the acrobats' movements, and all the prestidigitation stuff that you're casting is just going perfectly well. And Valet in particular seems very, very, very happy and excited. She has this certain sort of sparkle in her eye as she's sort of dancing along to your music, and
Aside
they sort
from
of
perception, can I also use minor illusion to like simultaneously using between them so that I can Fee gonna create a wholesome performance with the twins also with the minor illusion. She gonna try to like create flowers or like things like that to further improve the performance of the twin.
thing that amazes the crowd even more as you start summoning imagery and sort of just imagery and pictures and like just moving things kind of like in the air alongside the acrobats. They're heavily invested into this performance, even though they're sort of in a sort of a disheveled lot. The performance sort of the twins begin to sort of improvise around the end, but it's just perfectly done. And they kind of stop and they're breathing heavily while like in their sort of final pose, and you're kind of standing there with your instrument, kind of finishing up the ensemble. And like once you finish, you kind of look up from your concentration as you were focusing on casting prestidigitation and minor illusion and playing your instrument, and we're sort of dancing around at the same time. And you kind of end and you kind of let out like a heavy breath of air, and it's for a couple of seconds before this sort of slow clapping starts, and then everyone in the crowd sort of stands up and starts roaring and clapping and cheering. Even Silas over at the bartender kind of stopped doing what he was doing to look over, and he's kind of cheering as well. And it's kind of like a mixture of the acrobats' names and your name, and it's a very
wholesome.
Yeah. Fee doesn't smile. Fee doesn't hide her big smile. She's very pleased with all these hospitality and friendliness, and also the performance with the twins. So she's gonna turn back and then take the twin sister hand and then shake it and then hug her.
ready.
Yeah.
That the little tip box that they usually have, a lot of people are walking up to it and putting more than usual in it, and the sister kind of like hugs you back and she says, "That was wonderful, Fee." And her brother walks up behind her and he's like, "You're gonna make it big." Walks over to the sort of a tavern counter once again, And while having some small talk with Valet, she walks over to the box. She says, "Oh, this is much more than we ever make. You know,
Thank you.
it's only fair." And she takes.
Oh no, please. No, 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 no. You just keep it. I'm to have a performance with you guys. Therefore, just keep them.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course. The fun is all I need.
It's a very that's a very pleasant thing of you for you to do. Puts the coins back in the box and closes it. I'm very happy to have met you. And she kind of gives you a sort of smile.
You're gonna smile also, and then can Fee take one bar of soap from her bag, which has some maybe some flowery skin, so that she gonna put it inside a paper wrap thing and then give it to the twin sister, so that as a gift.
Thing, you give her the sort of floral scented bar of soap, and she says, "Oh, this is." She kind of brings it up to her nose, her sort of sharp elven nose. "This is lovely. I'm. Thank you very much.
Problem.
I'll definitely definitely put it to good use." Yeah, so you guys kind of just have small chat for a while. Eventually, you guys sort of just spend time in the tavern, drinking, eating, just enjoying revelry.
Passing time.
It's about time for
Head out.
up.
Going to meet the looker guy.
What was that?
It's about time for the meetup with Looker. The rain has since come to a halt
Yeah,
for the most part.
finally. Action. I hope so.
I want to say something to Fee.
Okay.
I give her a little clap on the back and I say, "Brilliant performance, Fee. Brilliant."
Thank you.
You know, I hope you're half as good as that when you're telling stories about me. You know, back at our mercenary troop, we always had a saying, though, you know, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. You know, so make sure you get paid when you're telling stories about me.
Keep that in mind, Reggie.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
That's it.
I don't do it for free. Like I do it for all of my fun, and also sort of like I'm just paying them with my performance so that I can get all the admiration that they gave me.
Sure, absolutely. That's brilliant. But, you know, admiration doesn't, you know, buy magical trinkets. Just
Yeah, that's a point.
Well, of course, but I can always settle to some more
Definitely has a point.
stuff.
Admiration doesn't buy magical trinkets.
Or like having more money with adventuring than performing this is what she's saying.
I get it. I don't say anything more.
Okay. So, I'm gonna go to the local guy now.
Is that the consensus?
Yep.
Ready. You all exit. Bull and tankards.
Yeah.
Streets are quiet. Anyone who would
Decoration.
be out at this time is home from a tavern or going to the tavern, or the sort of guard doing their shifts. Quite sparse as it is. You guys make your way over to the sort of coastline. It's quite near to shell town, a little ways away from the inn, than looking distance of the cliffside that you guys have been at before, and you guys see sort of standing, kind of just well, not standing, actually sitting in the sands and the sort of gravelly texture of the beach. Is Looker. He's kind of hunched over. He has this sort of tall mug, sort of drinking out of it. He doesn't seem to have noticed you yet, and he's just kind of looking out towards the sea.
As we get near the beach, I want to have my rifle ready for combat, just in case.
Okay. Your rifle is primed, ready, with the bullet in the chamber. Right. As you guys approach him, he kind of looks over to you guys, and he stands up. Right. So, it's the information you guys are interested in is, much the Storm Riders and what they're about, right?
Yes.
Thin walls here.
Just as a precaution, are you okay with sitting out here? And someone might eavesdrop or something like that.
The place I chose as a meeting spot, so yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Fee gonna cast a tiny hut. Their location.
As you start casting this ritual, he kind of stands back. Hey, what the fuck? What's going on? I don't have any bad intentions. As you start casting this ritual.
Oh, this is just a little thing she does. It sets up a nice little protective barrier just in case anything were to happen.
Ritual
Really,
casting.
let's make a persuasion check. Make it with advantage, because Fee is not really doing what looks like a harmful spell. Oh, yeah, 20.
Nice.
He slowly lowers his hands. All right. He's kind of like constantly shifting his eyes between you and Fee as she's kind of doing a ritual. I don't know where I should begin. What information are you more interested in? Are you more interested in just as the Storm Riders in general, or are you interested in when they showed up? Like,
yeah, start from the beginning. How they get themselves ingratiated in this town, and I hear the local people are suffering.
We hear different things.
showed up about, I'd say, a little over a few months ago. Presence wasn't really as large whenever they first arrived, sort of in the general area, but we had noticed that they started building an encampment not too far from here. Like we were about to go stop them, nothing we could really do about it. No army to really call over here either. Plus, whenever we had the old guard, a lot of them are fired now. Was replaced too. Me around because I'm the only person with the detective license. Boys.
She gonna
Showed
leave
up,
the
like I said.
to her teammates since she basically doesn't know anything about it. So,
But yeah, basically, like I said, they showed up a little over a few months ago. They started building an encampment. They built it really quick, which I still don't know how they did it. Really quick. They had an entire two-story, technically building completed in less than a week. Seem to be doing a lot of trading, I guess you could say. So I can only assume is the illegal stuff. Yeah, some of the guard been hired, replaced. A lot of them were fired when the old chief got on a lot of incapable guards, if you can
What happened to the old
probably
chief?
see. What did you ask?
I asked what happened to the old chief.
Were fired by the new chief. They didn't. They didn't fit his ideals, I guess.
How,
You could say.
how did the new chief become your new chief? That's interesting.
Did he be? I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're asking.
I'm asking if your new police chief was promoted at the same time the pirates came to town.
He wasn't promoted. He was transferred. He was
Okay.
transferred about a month before the bandits came.
Hey! Thanks for the follow, Shaq.
Anyways.
なら私最後まで戦えそうです
Fee.
What was that?
Fee, your game is going into your mic.
For a second, I was like, do I have some weird tab open or something? Is there a pop-up somewhere?
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I clicked the unmute.
Yeah, Looker to start speaking in a female voice in Japanese, and he seems to have been poisoned. Yeah, he just kind of looks at the old he was transferred here from
Hi.
the old chief when he retired about a month before the bandits came into town.
Or Shabre?
Storm Riders have definitely had some influence on him, it would seem. I don't think he's necessarily an evil guy, but he's definitely more of a sheep than a shepherd, if you get what I'm saying.
I mean, he kind of got
What
that
are the
impression.
chances he's a corrupt guy?
What did you say?
Is
Said, what are the chances?
Is your new chief chef corrupted?
Keep missing the last word of your sentence.
I think she's
If he's a
asking
corrupt guy.
Is he corrupt? He's definitely prone to corruption, I would say. Whenever he first came in, I mean, he wasn't really that bad. He seemed relatively normal, albeit maybe a little bit strict and kind of haughty. As all people that have a position of power over others.
Totally politics here.
I'd have to say I'm pretty damn sure he's being bribed or something.
Okay, totally.
Storm Riders.
Hmm.
Same thing with some of the guard as well.
Yeah, they
as long as
seem
they're making
really
extra money, they don't really
suspicious.
care.
They seem really suspicious, that station. The guards.
All they really care about is money. That's what they seem like to me, rather than people that actually genuinely want to protect the citizens of this town. Old guard was different.
Do you have any information about the inn owners? They seem to not have any problems with the Storm Riders.
I don't think it's that they don't have any problems with it. I think it's that they prefer not to talk about it, because if they do, they're gonna get punished. People are scared. Livelihoods are at stake. Their lives are at stake. Constantly complain. Or if they try to send letters, all the letters that go through the mail center here are all checked. Hard. And if they wanted to ask for help, they can't really without leaving the town, and even then, leaving the town is something that is
Icky?
tightly upon. All I know is that Storm Riders have been doing some shady business. They've been bribing the guard. Specifically, they want to set up here. I mean, I guess I can tell why they want to monopolize the clam fields, but I mean, it's not like those things bring in that much of an income. They could easily make a lot more money.
By stealing stuff, yeah.
So, do you think they have other motives besides the pearls?
I can only assume.
How much are the guards in their pockets? Do you think if we got rid of them, we'll be in trouble with the law?
That's an interesting question.
Well, got rid of them. I don't think you'd get in trouble. No.
All right.
And what are they gonna do?
If they're trying to keep it on the down low, they probably want to save face and not admit to anything after the.
What I was thinking.
Yeah, if they're hiding it.
Is there a way to expose all of their wrongdoings? Like having a
Find
higher,
some sort of evidence, a letter.
something like that.
You have to find some sort of evidence, a letter,
Need evidence for
a recording,
That should be
something
easy.
of that sort.
Yeah,
Depends on
even
how
then,
cautious they are.
we'd have to leave town just to get the message out because all the letters are being monitored.
Really true. And like, since we're this far south, a lot of people just don't fucking care about it.
I would have an idea though how to infiltrate them.
I've
If we-
infiltrated the shit out of them.
If you just if you could tell me where they are, I might have an idea how to get a letter like that.
I've done a couple of stakeouts. My job as a detective, whenever I'm bored, you go try to do something. They're a little north of here. I will say though, their encampment's pretty big. Almost close to 100 members just at the encampment itself.
Ah,
100 members, eh?
At least. Around there, at least. Something around those numbers.
How rowdy are they? Are they more like, let's say, civil criminals, or are they more like barbarians?
Well, I would say they're kind of in between. Air-ups are definitely a bit more civil about it, and then sort of the lower you go on the echelon, the more barbaric
yeah.
it gets.
That's the key on the bottom line.
Do they have patrols or anything like that? Scouting parties?
People that walk around here and there,
We didn't get enough money to buy the
outs, but they're not really all they're cracked up to be. Worry about is being sighted by air, because as I'm sure you know by now, they ride griffins.
You've seen the griffins yourself?
Seen the griffins. Seen quite a few of them. There's definitely not as many griffins as there are people. Maybe 5. Scary fucking things, I'll tell you that. Big ass eagle lion things. Out of my repertoire. Peter, I've seen him a few times. It's ochre. He's you got some weird shit going on. Definitely a pretty strong guy, so if you're planning on infiltrating and doing things of that sort, which, I mean, I'm not gonna ask you to do, but
Yeah, I have some idea. Oh, sure.
be careful about him, especially. And shit.
I have spells and check of hand.
We're all,
Oh.
even I could beat one of them, you know?
kills the detective right in front of him. He told us to.
Yeah. If you're one of them, you will not be speaking to us.
But I mean, I think the main thing you guys are gonna have to worry about is just how many fucking people are there. I mean, if you're able to get into the main building, it should sort of decide it, but getting into it is gonna be hard. I mean, it's surrounded by tents and the like, and it's surrounded by other people. If you do get into the main building, that is where Ochre stays. Where his bedroom and stuff is.
I don't have a freaking disguise kit.
The thing I've noticed, they seem to have people in shackles and chains. I'm pretty sure they're part of the slave trade industry.
Of
Pretty
course.
sure. I'm practically guaranteed. I've seen at least or so slaves, adults at least. I've seen about maybe 30 children. I don't know what they do with the kids. Haven't seen them gone out or any come in.
Perfect idea. We can selfie.
But they got kids there though. Strangely enough, when they were first constructing the damn place and I started investigating it, they had kobolds. Ever seen one of those?
Those short little things?
They're the little dragon people?
Oh, I've heard about those.
Yeah. Seem to be using them for manual labor and the like. Simple task. It doesn't really look like the kobolds enjoy it too much, so you don't have to fight them probably. Not that they're that much of a challenge.
Before we switch complaints,
All right. Well, I think a frontal assault would be suicide, so we definitely have to try some sort of infiltration, like they said, or something.
Yeah. See, how about your feelings about infiltrating?
About what?
How do you feel about infiltrating their ranks?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good with stealth.
I was thinking more about disguising, snooping around. You can easily pass for a child.
I'm concerned about the well-being of the slave. So, if we can do anything to help them get out of that place, I'll. And also, I can do
We'll
some.
tell you.
Healthy...
Sort of a. If you're sort of a disguised person, I've got some new technology I got from HQ for years of service. And he pulls out what looks to be in our time a very old school camera. Taking a couple photos.
And?
To be able to help.
Yeah,
Photos of the people.
Things.
Encampment in general. Obviously, I haven't been inside.
Wait, so is that camera like for evidence taking, or is this magic camera?
I mean, it just takes pictures. I don't really know. I use it for staking out information, maintaining that information.
That would be handy.
I mean, if it's just about disguising yourself, I guess I could do that, and I just snap my fingers, and you can just see him transform into Fifi, and then does it again into Moonshadow, does it again into the investigator.
When you disguise yourself, wait, does your height change? I think it shouldn't.
Well, it at least looks like it changes.
She gonna roll her eyes, and then she gonna tap into herself, and then she gonna turn invincible.
Alrighty, yeah, you turn invisible. You guys have got a lot of strange tricks. I definitely don't feel like I'd offer much. I will tell you, if you guys go and storm the place, I'm with you, because I'd like to find some shit.
Probably we should sneak
Yeah,
Well,
around.
I can't
can
disguise my,
accommodate you.
I can't disguise myself, but I can stand far enough away
To shoot.
and shoot people from a distance.
Can't really disguise myself either, but I believe in my ability to sort of blend in.
I'm not so much
Okay,
in the
so
cover-ups blending in. I'm more like one-to-one person.
Yeah.
I'm hit and run pirate.
But
Sort of.
getting back
What-
to the
How
topic,
do they recruit people?
they kind of just go around and pick up petty thieves, criminals, anybody that's looking for a job, that type of thing. I mean, people are willing to do a lot of stuff to make some money. If only say that they make more than doing nothing.
Adaptation to your name. Don't do it.
Well, no, I'm not actually going to join them. I'm just saying, if they think we're going to join them, it might let us in a little easier.
Oh, well, that should be.
I
I
have
mean,
the idea. Maybe people could go be like a child slave and snoop inside because she can get out really easy.
Can do
It might
that.
be dangerous to pose as a slave. I mean, what if things go south and she gets actually captured?
She can simply disappear and walk out. That's what my character is thinking.
And let's be honest too, like if we're gonna go for the slave bait, I'm pretty sure they're gonna go for me first. I mean, I look like a high elf that managed to burn his eyes away, and I have butterflies surrounding me, so I guess I would be a prime candidate for the slave trade.
And on a bright side, you smell good too, so that would be a plus side for them to take you as a slave.
For the noble ladies, I bet.
We prioritize strong men and just pretty women.
Pretty women, eh?
Stealing them from families, whatever they gotta do.
I'll just snap my finger and I'm gonna transform into into a nymph I saw when I was back in the Feywild.
So Dancer turns into this almost otherworldly, beautiful sort of.
Poke at his chest. Deliberately poke at his chest. Illusion.
You don't feel anything. You can just go right through.
Yeah. See,
But
now that's a problem.
Don't worry, I already got a harness commissioned. I call it the boob harness.
Yeah, he got pillows. Squishy pillows.
Yeah, it's a nice patent you got there.
Just for that purpose.
As a side note,
it's a weird plan, but it's better than anything I've got.
How do the camera works? I mean, is it still have is that digital or like they using films and stuff?
Oh, it is not. It is not digital. It is not digital. No, it's like old school black and white like printout.
How much shot
How big is the device?
will it can have with the camera? Is it?
Many pictures I can take? I mean, I can take as many pictures as I want as long as I've got the film for it.
How big is the device?
Big is it? He has like a tripod that goes with it. It is kind of like clunky, like it's about the size of like someone's head, but I mean it's not like super heavy.
I think the bigger the device is, the higher it will be to smuggle in.
Well, the tripod can be a weapon too. I mean, I can smack someone with this.
The magical tripod.
I mean, the other solution is that once you guys sneak in, I can try and, I don't know, I might be able to come in during the chaos and kind of look around. guys might be able to. I hate to suggest it. You guys might be able to cause a revolt.
Oh, that's
Do
what we
something
do.
like that.
Happy to serve.
About it. And there's about 30 or so own adult slaves, 25 kobolds. I'm sure if they're not happy being there, if you're able to break them free,
I'll do that.
ruckus, distraction.
Not maybe a distraction, but
I don't think that the bandits would be willing to kill the people, and I'm sure that you guys don't really care about the kobolds.
Okay, so short version, we're gonna be infiltrate that, rescue the slave, and make a mess.
mass destruction.
Or yeah, done for you. That sounds good.
I'm totally going
Sounds
to be
like
looking
it'd
for
be
a
a
treasure.
decent plan. It depends on.
Oh, what
Yeah,
about
and treasure
treasure?
too.
Yeah.
Might be something better. I don't know. We'll say he kind of pulls out pictures of like the large house and he shows you it. You guys know now where all the entrance points of the house are. At least all the ones visible through the camera. It has like lots of windows. It has one main entrance. It has like a ramp leading up to a door.
How big is the encampment total? Like how wide?
Probably about I don't know how big this actually is, but like maybe 50 yards. I don't know how big a yard is exactly. Isn't it like 12 feet or something?
No, 50 yards would be half a football field.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, it's not that big. So maybe about 15 yards then.
Okay.
Yards, I guess.
Hmm.
It's relatively large, but I mean it's not like the size of a town or anything. Like a village or hamlet.
Hmm. Does it have a sturdy walls?
Wall? No, they don't have a wall.
Well, that makes it a little easier.
Yeah,
They
because
have
when you
guards that kind of are
say
like around the perimeter, but I mean, to be
so,
honest with you when I say that they aren't very perceptive.
nothing
Like I said, the main
like
thing you'd have to
castle
worry about
walls.
is people going up in the with the griffins and flying above.
That was the one thing I was worried about, that it will have a very high walls, so we could not easily infiltrate it since they have griffins to fly over. Hmm.
Main thing, it's really dangerous to fight outside with people that have the ability to fly, so something to be wary of.
A door that doesn't have many attention. I can climb in while and then open the door for everyone.
Are the slaves kept out in the open, or do they have their own building for the slaves?
I like some basement.
There are lots of smaller tents, kind of like domes, and there's usually maybe a collective of slaves in each, and like some of these tents. The tents seem to have stuff kept in them. I've actually seen some people hauling around cages. I haven't been able to see what's inside the cages. They're usually covered up. I don't think they have slaves in the cages. I don't know what they have though.
Understood.
I'm turning
Slaves, but that's kind of where the
suspicious.
slaves go. All the kobolds stay in one tent,
How do you know all about this?
taking it out for a long time. They've been here for over, I don't know, about 6 months.
I'm suspicious. I want to check if he is actually telling the truth.
Okay. Make an insight check.
Okay, not a good roll, bad roll.
Can't really get a good read on him, but you feel like he's probably telling the truth.
Probably, okay.
Seems authentic.
Alright, well, we don't have to decide anything on the middle of the night. Maybe we should sleep on this and meet again tomorrow. And our partner here's got to pick up his harness still, anyways.
Possible, I'd rather not meet during the day. It's not really optimal for me.
I agree. It's not optimal.
I'm not in my if I'm not in my little cubicle, the chief
Yeah, we
gets a little
know.
anxious. Definitely got his eye on me.
Yeah, don't want to self-discover.
Say this, I do have some friends that are still in the guard but aren't incompetent. I'm gonna help you out. I've only got about 3, but I mean, it's better than nothing, right?
Do you have any informant from the inside?
Repeat that.
Do you have an informant from the inside?
The inside, unfortunately, no.
That's all.
Did be a
That's
lot
all.
easier.
Yeah. Well, then you'll have to scout first before we decide what to do.
Free to do that. Just make sure you guys don't get captured. If you guys get captured, I mean, there's not much I can do to help you.
We don't want to get you in trouble. We totally don't. Or at least I don't.
Yeah, I agree. Scouting it at first would be quite wise. We could make sure we know what we're getting into before we make any firm plans.
Reggie, how
Alrighty.
good you are with animals?
How good am I with animals?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all right.
Hmm.
I usually shoot them, but I mean,
Do
I've
you-
had pets before. If that's what you mean.
Do you think you can tame a griffin? That's what I mean.
First time I meet one, no. Maybe if I had a few months, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't think I'm gonna convince a griffin to be my friend the first time I see one, if that's what you mean.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, if you can befriend one and ride it and convince it to be on our side and stuff.
Yeah, no. I'm not that persuasive, and I don't have any magical means to do it, if that's what you mean.
Okay.
We'll say the
At least
griffins
not
do
right
seem
now.
to be trained to some extent.
You can use that soap and then try, like, you will have really good smell and then the griffin might like you.
Might want to eat you if you smell like smoked meat.
Hey, in defense, he has charcoal soap smell.
Yeah, exactly. If he smells like smoked dinner, he's totally appealing to the griffins.
Well, I can suggest them with basic commands so that they can befriend you.
Look, I'm just telling you this right now. If I see a griffin, I'm shooting it. I'm not gonna try to cuddle with
Cuddle.
I have heard of spells that let me, make sure that I'm friendly with animals, but I don't currently know how to pull that off.
Okay.
Well, while the image might be fun to watch, well, I think we should just focus on scouting the base first.
Yeah, and totally don't shoot anything inside unless we already are going out. Your rifle is making a lot of noise.
Stealthy it is then.
Yeah.
One thing I can do, I can definitely supply you with some basic equipment. If you need something more stealthy, I've got crossbows and bows and the things of that sort. I can
put
stuff.
on the ranged stuff.
Also got some potions that might be able to help you out.
What do you
Oh,
have?
yeah. What kind of potions you got?
Just healing potions, but I mean, I don't have any use for them.
I
We
Be
would
was
used
totally-
just asking about
something
healing
important.
potions earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I got some.
It never hurts to have one more.
Also got one that lets you breathe underwater. I don't know how useful that's gonna be though.
Is the encampment close to the beach? That's the question.
It's not really.
Let's see.
It's directly north of here, so it's kind of going away from the coast and going more inland. So no, not particularly.
Right now, this is...
Impossible that they could get to the beach. I mean, they have griffins. They're really fucking fast.
How about this? We'll sleep, scout out the place tomorrow, and meet back here tomorrow night and let you know what our plan is. Would everyone else be okay with that?
Sure.
I'd rather go and scout now. And maybe something really early morning.
Well, the sooner the better.
Well, I agree. You don't have to waste the night.
Well, I gotta sleep eventually.
We will sleep eventually.
Alright, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I totally want to go have a look, like now, if the encampment is closed, so we can go and come back in a reasonable time.
We'll say that the guards are a bit more vigilant at night, but so night, so they're not gonna be able to see as well. So call
Yeah,
them
and
out.
I won't be able to see as well either, but
I can. I have a dark vision. I think maybe me and Pete can go and scout.
if you're going out there, I'm going with you. I'm just telling you, I'll be basing my shots off the moon.
Yeah, if you don't see, you're not going to be much help in scouting. How are you planning to do that?
Yeah, and then if you get caught and get into a fight and I'm not there, I mean, I'm gonna feel pretty terrible.
Okay, how about you watch our backs?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was planning on doing. You think I'm getting in the front line?
No, but staying way back is not what I mean.
Alright, well, it sounds like you guys got a plan. I'm gonna go talk with some of my old friends and
Be careful out there. Be careful out there, sir.
Planning some infiltration.
what'd you say? Sorry.
Oh, I just bid him farewell and that
Oh, okay.
he should be careful.
Be careful. I don't think the chief is quite on to me just yet, but he's definitely looking out at me.
Do you know the best place
Here,
we can
Mara.
slip out of town unnoticed?
Out of town?
Yeah, we don't want
Can in
to
this hut.
be caught sneaking in and out of town.
If you guys have this fucking hut thing, I mean, you can kind of sleep safely anywhere, can't you?
No, sneak in and out of town, not sleep.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I mean, as long as you're not going through the main gate, I mean,
I was asking if there is a specifically like weak spot which we can use.
where if it isn't the main gate,
Yeah, I got that.
for the most part. Don't go out. I mean, patrols. I mean, there's not a ton of guards in this town, so I mean, as long as you're not in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think
Not to
I'm
mention, nobody's
better
gonna
up.
stop some travelers that don't really live here. They might inform the chief if you're heading in a direction of the encampment, but I mean, by any guards and you'll be fine.
How far travel is the encampment from here again?
About an hour, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on how fast you are.
Hey, if you're trying to be sneaky, I do have a spell that can help with that, and it lasts for an hour.
Okay, that's actually a very good idea. Why didn't you say so earlier?
Oh, I said it like a couple days ago. It just hasn't come up.
Well, now it came up.
Okay, let's just go then.
Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I might have some friends with me, so don't be surprised.
Okay.
Kinda like walks to the edge of the hut. I can walk out of this thing, right?
Totally fine.
Same time
walks through
tomorrow,
it.
same place. See you, Looker.
Walks through it and you hear from outside, fuck! As you hear like a thud. He says, sorry, I tripped. And he keeps walking.
I poke my head out to see if it actually did trip.
Yeah, he tripped. You can see him kind of like limping a little bit on his left leg. He's like, God damn it, fuck! Like muttering to himself.
For a moment, I thought there was someone eavesdropping and trying to kill the investigator man.
It'd be scary. You guys are in a hut and you just hear like a loud thud. Yeah.
Okay, so
Alrighty.
it's an hour's travel from here. I say we get out about 30 minutes, and then I can cast my spell for the approach to it.
Yeah, considering that we will need some of it to get back unnoticed.
Well, I can cast it up to twice a day.
Let's go.
Alright, well, we're gonna have a quick break here. I'll be right back. Maybe at
Okay.
most 10 minutes, but yeah.
Okay. We're going 5
Alrighty.
to 10 minutes? Okay, it's really late for our dungeon master. Ah, God. I don't know why he's playing with us. Because we're a bunch of people that live all around the world, and it's really late in the morning. Well, early in the morning. Considering we are starting after 1 a.m. for him. So, he's saying he's okay with that, and we've been playing, but then it's very nice to have a dungeon master and people all around the world to play with.
Why do I have the feeling they might recruit the other adventure group?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they already have.
I just
We
hope
have
they
competition.
refuse because since Reggie and the man, yeah, he has a arm wrestling with. I think they might be good friends.
Really? I didn't get that impression.
Well, they're not necessarily good friends, but at least the one he had an arm wrestle contest now thinks he's really strong, so that might help.
Maybe not really good friends, but like in a friendly term together. You might be able to help us with something.
I don't know. He seemed a little bitter.
Really? Okay.
I'll be back in a few minutes, guys.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, I got a minute.
I also have a horn of silent alarm, if it ever comes up.
What does that do?
Well, it's got 4 charges, and when I blow into the horn, I can choose any creature within 600 feet, and only they will hear the horn blowing.
That's good to know. Oh, no silent alarm.
I could use it to signal each other, or I could use it to freak out a guard.
Keep
So
it
kind of
just in
like
case.
choosing one guard to hear it, and then you're gonna blow it, and then they're gonna get where that came from, and then the other
Yeah,
guy
and
goes,
then all their friends will
I
be
don't
like,
know.
"What are you talking about?"
That should be fun.
Should be fun.
And then he'll be like, "This really loud horn," and they'll be like, "Dude, I didn't hear anything." And then he'll be like, "How
And
could you not have
and
heard that? It was so loud." And they'll be like, "Dude, you're crazy."
Bitch, you crazy.
no, I think they're gonna be like, look at him. I might be horn, but you might be horny.
Alright.
Well, we'll see. Maybe those guys have some respect for nature and won't disturb a young nymph somewhere. So if I go for the baits, then maybe they just take me to their leader or something.
And what would that accomplish?
Well, I could try to talk with the guy and at least
Yeah,
scout
there's
the area a little bit.
I would
Uh,
strongly advise against it, or not before you get your special equipment.
Yeah, of course, but once I have it, then
Okay, I need to
To be
use the
honest, I'm
toilet
really scared of
really badly.
the
I'm
scenario
back.
that he would answer you while in disguise,
Oh,
their
oh.
leader's room. That sounds like a bad scenario for me.
I think best case scenario we can hope for is if we're somehow able to free the slaves, get the rest of the group distracted with them, and then if we're able to find some like evidence linking the storm riders to the town guard, just escape with that, and then we can give that information to the higher ups outside of the town, and maybe they can send some people in here that actually, can help. I don't think the four of us can take on 100 people and a couple dozen griffins.
Well, if it's okay, but unless we create the mess, we make the mess out of it, and then try not to expose ourselves, then maybe it's okay. Since after that they might change the location, and everything might be in vain or something like that. So basically, if we're going for stealthy, just go for stealth, and then after that, after we're done, make the camp.
I'm back.
Hello.
hey. Although I still don't quite get yet why we wanna go at night when their defenses are the best and we can't really see.
Well, they can't see anything at night.
Well, they
Like,
probably they can probably see better than us because they're probably walking around with torches and such.
I mean, it's might be the same if you try to get in while it's day. So night is always better, in my opinion.
I mean, the booker, what was his name? He told us that it's probably safer by day than by night because there aren't as many guards around.
Just said that he just kind of said, or they're more vigilant at night, but I mean they also can't see as well, so it's kind of your call. Is basically what he said.
I'm back and I hope I don't miss much of the discussion.
Anyway, I think let's just go.
I'm
Let's
back.
go.
We're all.
Yeah, we still have to wait for Moon. Or she's.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
Ah, okay.
Did I miss much?
Nope.
Oh.
Nothing.
Nothing
We just
at all.
talked about some stuff like whether it's good to infiltrate now or later or something.
Okay, so everyone's here. I know you three are here. Kevin, you're here as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it. Okay. I'll wait on Kevin, guys.
Yeah, are you there?
Okay, we cannot do without rages, pass without faith. Certainly need that pass without faith. Okay.
I have the feeling we're doing some kind of Mission Impossible thing. And I suddenly remember their trade music, the theme song. Dun, 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 dun. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-dun.
Not yet. We are not there yet, Pete. What the? That was good.
Alright, I'm back. I had to let my dogs out.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, everybody should be here now.
Yeah.
Answer, we got Fifi, you got Moonshadow, you got Kevin. Alrighty. Boom.
Dun, 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 dun,
Everyone
dun.
else is guessing
Not
character
yet.
names, and I get my real name.
Alright. Reginald. it's just that your character is the only one with like a like an earthly name, you know what I mean? Either of them could be your real name, you know? So
Reginald Copperpot.
guys
Properly.
stalk into the night. The sort of whole scenery slowly starts developing more into sort of a golden green grassland.
I'd like if we go
And-
stealthy.
Just want to go ahead and have everyone roll perception checks just for like the general like travel side of this.
I have a passive perception of 18.
Beat 25.
Mine-
Moon, you accidentally rolled deception instead of perception.
Oh, right.
Can I use my passive perception?
Oh, we'll see.
I still
No,
got 21.
I'm getting 9. No.
And I'll keep in mind what your passive perception is. It looks like it is a 12.
Oh.
So yes, we'll keep it in mind. We'll keep it in mind. Passive perception is like either how I use it. It's either sort of instinctual, like noticing something that's really out of place, or it's for if you guys were to search a place for long enough, I would just let you use your passive perception if you roll well. Anyways, Did I disconnect again? Alright, I'm back. Cool. You guys slowly stalk into this sort of golden green grassland that's kind of all sort of a dark, almost jade color with the nightfall. The moon is sort of,
perception.
not really shining too brightly in the sky. It seems like the earlier rainstorm sort of still left some clouds behind that are covering it up, and the stars aren't really extremely visible. Regardless, you make your way in the direction you were told to go to find this bandit encampment.
Okay, I'm on my
30
way.
minutes in, nothing really eventful is happening. If you want to go ahead and cast your Pass Without a Trace, you said
Yeah,
you
I'll do
want
so.
30 minutes in, yeah. Okay, so Pass Without a Trace is up. All of you guys will get a +10 to any stealth checks you guys make for the next hour.
Okay.
So tracks are hidden. So
Let's go.
you guys make
Okay.
a dense smokestack, smoke clouds billowing, and you begin to see the little dome tents that Licker was talking about that sort of litter this encampment that's about maybe 15 to 20 yards and sort of that it takes up. You do see what looks to be torchlight, and you can kind of see like the black sort of outlines of figures kind of walking the perimeter of the encampment. There seems to be at least maybe 12 people kind of just bordering the encampment, walking around with these torches. You can see the very large building that's sort of the central mass of this entire place, kind of the heart of the encampment, if you will, and you can sort of see dim orange-red light coming out of the many windows it has. A lot of the little dome tents have like some very faint light sort of flickering from underneath the canvas where it doesn't really cover it or touch the ground all the way. You do see what look to be very small people walking around in the encampment, and see some figures sort of sitting around what looks to be some sort of campfire, eating, you would presume. Make your stealth checks.
Maybe.
Make sure to add.
Yeah, shouldn't it be like at least 1 hour after midnight?
So I rolled a 20 then.
20, 21, 27.
27
Okay.
too.
Yeah, you guys are just sort of camping this place out. Nothing of interest is really going in. You see some of the guards switch out. The guards that are keeping watch, they kind of get changed out and shifted. The small people you had seen at first sort of go into this singular dome tent. See some people in shackles being brought out.
After midnight.
Eat. Some of them small, some of them adult-sized.
So the people that are on watch, are they just like stationed or are they patrolling?
Patrolling the perimeter. They're kind of walking in sort of an even, sort of, not really a march, but I mean just sort of an even pace, all kind of while they're holding their torches behind them.
So the viewfinder is the image clear so that we can get the picture of them leading the slave.
This is what the encampment looks like, by the way. I know it's daytime in the picture, but that's just kind of
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh,
what it looks like.
Total orc camp, man.
The dome.
Wonderful.
if we take a picture of them leading the slave as a evidence, I mean.
Oh, you took the camera? I didn't even realize you took the camera. He didn't give it to you.
Really? Okay. I thought
Yeah.
he gave it to
Yeah,
me.
he was just like, I
You
have
take it as
pictures
it.
I can show you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
nobody asked for the camera.
So it wouldn't really be able to take pictures at night. So encampment looks like. You guys have like a general know for the layout of it now, and I can say it's very easy for you guys to sort of traverse it. At this point in time, you guys spend a while looking at it, but as you guys are sort of sitting there, you hear this crunching coming from behind you as grass on, and you hear faint, stifled breathing.
I want to turn around and see who's there.
You turn around and you kind of squint your eyes a little bit because they're a little out of your dark vision range, but they seem to be arms approaching you. One of them is sort of short and stocky, kind of wide. One of them is short and sort of scrawny. There are three of them that are kind of like average height. One of them is a little thinner than the other two. One of them is like a bit more of a muscular build. Stalking towards you.
I didn't hear what the race
Fee gonna make.
name.
What are you making with minor illusion?
Oh, I was trying to make some sound to direct them into the other direction so that, kind of like an animal, something like that.
Okay. What kind of animal? Anything?
Cat. The sound of a cat that it's sound the cat make when they're angry.
Okay, it's like a hissing sound. Sure thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit. uh, types of creatures are behind you. They're humanoids.
Okay.
Not
Are they
sure what.
walking directly towards us?
They're walking in your general direction.
Can I like just give a motion to like move like east so that like if they don't walk directly towards us?
Or you can
I think they're the
shuffle.
guard.
You're not sure. I mean, they just look like humanoid shapes.
Tall or short humanoid shapes?
It's a mixture of heights. I've them already. One of them is short and scrawny. One of them is short and stocky. Three of them are kind of average human height. One of them being thinner than the rest. One of them being more muscular than the rest. One of them is kind of average. As they get closer and get into your dark vision range, you can make out one of them is a dwarf. One of them is an elf, it would seem.
What now?
Or humans. One of them is a halfling.
Are
You
they in
walking?
shackles?
They're wearing. They have weaponry on them.
Okay, they're not.
Doesn't really look like what the guards are wearing at all. Don't really pick out much more detail than that. They are approaching in your general direction.
Okay, so I like motion to the rest of the party like follow me, like just to move like east away, like so they don't like run into us.
Yeah, I totally want to do that and observe them closely.
I need to look at your stealth rolls. Okay.
Fee gonna cast invisible on herself and then follow.
Okay. So gets noticed. The elf of the group, the ears perk up. You see Moonshadow as you're kind of shuffling along with Reginald. Looking Dancer's direction, and the elf puts their hand out towards the rest of their group and points at Dancer as he's kind of shuffling. And Dancer, you notice them kind of seem to be looking in your general direction.
Alright.
Not like charging or anything, but they're definitely aware of your presence. You're invisible.
So they don't look hostile. They're just like, what the fuck's over there, right?
It would seem so.
I'll just
They wrote low.
go out of hiding, I guess, and I'll say, oh, hello. Why are you guards here, or why are you patrolling?
That's
A
brave
little bit
of
of a
him.
short little pause of silence ensues as the rest of your party is just kind of like watching from the sidelines as you kind of just stand up, kind of hands in the air, talking. The brawnier looking human approaches you, kind of feeling out their path in the grass as they approach you. She sort of she lowers her head to meet yours and she peers into your eyes and she's like, "Clear.
Sorry, what did you say?
Look familiar."
Yeah.
It's,
You can ask them if they're the same party from the tavern, maybe?
That's the
The
other
a closer
party.
look, it'd be easier to tell. But you definitely recognize the voice. This is 100% the female barbarian that you guys had spoken to, because you guys actually talked to her personally.
Oh, so you're the other group from the tavern, right?
Looks like him.
It would seem we meet on
Interesting.
narrative adventuring.
We're meeting in
she kind of
interesting places.
her, and they kind of walk up, standing behind her. Just generally give you a nod. Do the rest of you come out of hiding, or is it just Dancer still?
I'm still in hiding.
I'm gonna come
observing.
out, but no one gonna see me.
Fee unveils her invisibility. So,
Yeah.
Well,
kind of just look at you. Nod.
So, what are you
where's
guys?
the nearest door to get into the building? I'm just gonna ask that.
Get into the encampment?
Building? Yeah.
Well, you guys are like far on the outskirts because you don't want to be noticed by the guards or get caught in the torchlight. So I mean, it's pretty far away.
Oh.
About 400 feet, maybe more.
Well, Dancer's just gonna be like, so, what are you guys out here for?
The little halfling guy speaks up. We're looking to put an end to this little organization over there.
15 insight, is that true?
Telling the truth.
Well, in that case, nothing to hide here. We had the same thought. So how about we work
Operate?
together on this case? We have some information that could help us. And then
Yeah.
we'll just split the loot in the end. Fair and square.
Looks at the rest of the people. The dwarf speaks up. I don't really see a problem with it. I think it's all right. Like human man. Whatever you all want to do, I'll be fine with. The elven woman.
So what's your
As
group?
long as I'm able to get my father out, I don't really care.
What was your father? Did your father get caught as one of the slaves there?
Fortunately,
Yeah.
he's a bit absent-minded.
We've heard some, but since your father is an adult, he should be fine for now at least. It seems that children are the ones that are the most unfortunate in this case. No one people see them coming in, but no one sees them moving in there or coming out ever again. So.
And kind of shakes her head in disdain. The halfling, fucking disgusting. I heard that these fuckers do child labor, sweatshops.
Well, not only that, they do seem to also have kobold slaves there. So, I guess they
Who
just.
cares about that?
Well, I'm guessing they must have some kind of mine or something. If they send small children in, then there must be a reason for it.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's a good
Just
point.
came to do some more scouting work.
That's a totally good point.
We've really been hoping we can ambush a party of the fuckers. Close, but just haven't been able to.
So we were about to scout a little here, but we basically decided for more, let's say, stealthy approach as well. And I'll just show them like my little trick with the shape changing thing. And so
Interesting.
I think we could work well together. Maybe I could lure some people out and then we'll just ambush them or something.
I still prefer to be silent.
I guess I don't really mind working together on this one, but just keep in mind self-preservation comes above. Just so you know, that's kind of how it works. Impersonal, you know?
Well, makes sense. Nothing. I get it. Nothing personal. It's just etiquette. So, and Dancer's just gonna turn around. Just like, how long are you gonna stay hidden now?
Oh gosh, I want
I was
to
about to
not
say, I remember you guys having a dude with a gun. Told me about it. He kind of notions towards the barbarian.
I wait a couple seconds and then I say, "All right, I'm here too." But I don't actually come out of hiding. I just say it.
Guess it's recognition enough.
So,
Nope.
what's the plan?
Gonna be honest with each other, then I think this is gonna work out. Is this all of you?
Don't trust them.
I whisper, "Nope, there's one more."
I kick you in the shins.
I say, "Oh."
Ready? What's your guys' plan? To
Well, for
try
now
to infiltrate the main building over there.
for now we were just trying to scout a little bit and then try to go there in the day. During the day, I have some harness made for a better disguise. I thought I could maybe try and find out some information on the inside.
I say, we were thinking of letting some of the slaves loose, and they might form a nice little distraction.
That too.
Doesn't seem like a bad idea. I've been running to you guys before. How'd you guys know about the slaves?
Well, we have contacts. We talk um, with Booker. Don't know if you know him.
We don't.
Yeah, he's the private investigator of this town.
See, maybe we'll have to talk to him sometime. Haven't really been getting much information scouting lately. Shit every night.
We are
Just
better at gathering information.
patrolling the perimeter and then bringing out the slaves and stuff to feed them, and then that's about it.
Oh, and just saying, but I guess you already know, do not trust the guards. They're kinda working under them.
Trust me, we know. I mean,
That's interesting twist.
fuck, man.
Bjorn is telling
She almost motions towards the barbarian again. She almost fucking killed one of them. Like, I mean, she was literally about to beat his ass. It was
Oh, I missed some good
going.
ones.
She gets going, you know.
Looks at the direction of Moon. I kind of know that type of person.
Uh, yeah, it's gonna be a boring night again. Hopefully, you guys can get some information once you do the infiltration stuff. You know where we stay. You know we're always in the.
Sure.
Since
If
no
you
one is looking, and also Fee is invincible, also Fee just gonna sneak into sneak into the tent.
Oh. Oh, you didn't drop your invisibility. Okay.
No, he's
Yeah.
still invisible.
You're walking to the big tent.
He's our best scout so far.
That's
I
true.
mean, since no one is paying attention anyway, so yeah, we gonna try to get inside.
Just mind that after you get away from the group, the pass without a trace will drop.
Yeah.
Ready? So, actually, I don't think the pass without a trace wears off. You just choose people initially when you cast it, and then
Isn't it like a circle around the caster?
it's whenever you initially cast it, you choose people within 30 feet of you, and they get advantage on their checks. As long as you have it up, you can keep choosing more
Yeah.
people if you want
It depends on how long we've been waiting, though, because it only lasts an hour. So it's
Well, it hasn't been that long.
That's why since no one is paying attention, so Fee try to get it right away into the tent, knowing that she just have an hour for the pass without trance spell.
Okay, make another stealth check with advantage, and then also plus 10. So
Okay, stealth.
31 total. Yeah, you're able to sneak past the perimeter guards, kind of pretty easily. You almost stumble into one of them as like he kind of walks by you, kind of as you're kind of shuffling through, but you're able to get by just dandy. And what would normally reveal you invisibility is your footprints, but since you have passed without a trace affecting you, you don't really leave footprints. So on this dirt without leaving any marks of your passage. As you walk through, you kind of hear this sort of yipping sound, which I don't. What languages do you speak?
Common halfling. That's all.
Okay. You don't
I
recognize the language, but it's there.
I'm
It's
not
like
dead.
this yipping, barking sound with like hard consonants.
I'm
Probably the
not there.
kobolds. Um, of children, the voices of
I got
adults. You can see some
celestial.
guards, some like other bandits kind of
With
sitting
them.
around talking with one another. Man, we've been pulling in a fucking boatload. Can't believe it. All these fucking pearl farmers has been feeding my wallet, man. It's a blessing. I'm happy I joined this shit. Hey, man, before I did this, I was just a simple little thief, little petty thief, stole apples and shit. I can't believe it. I mean, we're just rolling in it at this point. Easy job. No one ever comes and fights us because there's so many. I mean, it's literally perfect.
And there's the most
Glad we're
fun
next to
rolling woods.
Shelltown, man. And those other fuckers that have been helping out the boss. Part of it too. Yeah, I never seen him though. He usually goes and visits them during the day. I wonder what they are from and shit. I don't know. He just anytime I ever ask him, tells me shut the fuck up. So I try to stay quiet. And you kind of walk away from his conversation, but you pick up the important bits. There's the main tent. You walk up the ramp into the little main doorway. You can open it stealthily enough. I'll say we'll just use that stealth roll. And you close
Okay.
it slowly and quietly behind you on the first floor. In this first floor, there are 2 rooms to the right of you, 2 doors. I should say. Well, one of them doesn't really have a door. It's more bars, and it looks to be a cell, and there's nothing in there. Stairwell to your left. There's like some rugs and like there's like a rug and there's some portraits adorning the walls and there's some chairs and like a table. But other than that, there's not really much in here. There's one door down here as well.
We
Closed.
gonna walk up into the door and then try to hear if there's anyone or anything in the other side.
Make a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Phew.
Don't really hear anything on the other side. It sounds pretty quiet. You do see a faint light glimmering underneath the door, but it's like really faint, like really faint.
And Fee gonna go to the second floor first then?
Right, so you climb up the stairs. In here, you kind of descend down the stairwell. Um, Pretty strangely enough, not very much in this room. There's like a chimney with like some like soft cushion chairs beside it, producing smokestacks. It's kind of like almost strangely empty. There's like a carpet. There's like a rug. Um, there is a ladder. Looks to go to like the final third floor. But other than
Anything
that,
else?
there's not really much in here. And not really.
Okay,
You can
then.
make a if you want to like search like for longer and like spend a while in here to like really investigate. Like if like what are you looking for in particular?
But some evidence, like letters or something like that.
Okay. Um, there's nothing. I mean, you can make an investigation check, I suppose.
Come on, at 20. That's pretty good.
There doesn't. Hold up. Doesn't really seem to be anything like that in here. You do notice that in the chimney, um, the fuel for the fire is coal,
Oh, okay.
which means that they have access to minerals in some way, shape, or form.
You
Coal is
gonna keep
not really that
going to
common nowadays,
the floor
being changed to be steam powered. And if they're not steam powered, people usually just use mushroom wood.
then?
So,
Okay.
very common.
Third floor then?
Climbing up the ladder. Make another perception check as you climb up the ladder.
Okay, perception.
Hear the sound of someone muttering to himself. You can't make out the words, but you do hear someone talking. It's just one person. It seems to be like a one-sided conversation, or he's talking to himself. Deep voice with like a little bit of a southern slur, but it's kind of intimidating in a way.
Giving
Do you want to
orders.
go all the way up the ladder, or
All the way up.
you
No,
slowly
when I like nearly, can I just sneak take a peek first to see if there's anything
want to poke your head?
dangerous?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of slowly, making sure to not make any thudding noises as you climb up each rung of the ladder. It takes you to because you're trying to be super quiet and slow. It takes you like almost 15 seconds to climb this ladder, and you peer up, over, get above it. This looks to be a bedroom. There's a bright lamp that's kind of casting a shadow over this man's face. It's just one man in here. He has a bald head, like a sort of a chiseled jawline, and like a sort of thin beard kind of lining the outline of his jaw. He has a furrowed brow, and he seems to just be muttering to himself quietly in his hand, and he's just like flipping through it. He's wearing sort of a fine, uh, kind of like robe, and he's just sitting on the side of this very elegant and this very comfortable looking bed. There's not much in here. The floor is kind of slim, not like slim, like shiny, smooth wood that's like covered in. He has some decorate. So he has something. He has some like decorative material kind of adorning it. He seems to really be into like skulls and things. He has like skulls of all sorts of different animals, kind of lining like a shelf in his room, and he has a desk that is beside his bed, and that's where his like lamp is sitting.
I have a question. Since Fee Sai is really small, she's a halfling and stuff. Is there any place around there that she can hide?
Under the bed.
Okay,
Anyone
so
can
Fee
hide
gonna
under the
try to
bed.
hide under the bed first, and then after that she gonna use her spell is that minor illusion? Minor illusion to create the sound of the two men from before talking, and then but now she's trying to make it to look like they're shouting and stuff on the first floor so that it will divert the attention of the men inside this room down there.
Isn't your invisibility going to drop if you cast a spell?
Yeah,
Well, that's
that's
what she
why
wants.
I hide under the bed first.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And
Make another
also,
stealth check as you drop invisibility while you're under the bed with the +10, but without advantage. As you're like under,
Oh
as you
boy,
hide under the bed.
if you roll bad with that, then we're gonna have a rescue mission.
oh,
Oh,
natural
never mind.
20.
Never
Okay.
mind.
natural 20. Yes.
36.
You kind of get scared as you drop the invisibility, and you can visibly see his legs stiffen. But he quickly relaxes once again. His minor illusion, this sound of that conversation you heard before of like the arguing, and you hear him say,
Aggressive.
"God damn it, what the fuck?" And he gets up, and he walks to like the edge of where the ladder is, and he slams his foot on the ground. Shut the fuck up!
Just
Ah,
let it keep going.
And he kind of starts climbing. You can hear him climbing down the ladder.
now here, Cherry,
That's like a
Okay,
Belty.
so
slapstick comedy.
immediately when he climb up into the second feet, gonna go out and then start looking around very fast to see if there's anything that might give a
Very
clue of.
fast. Get an investigation check.
Okay, please. No, only 8.
Of clambering through the drawers of the desk, you find paper, you find ink, like a lot of writing materials, you find some more animal skulls. Kind of start flipping through his book, but you don't really find anything interesting. You kind of just quickly flip through it, kind of like the adrenaline pumping in your veins. You're just quickly searching through everything, like your heart's beating fast because you're wondering like when he's going to come back. Um, you don't really find anything of significance.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to
Last
look
thing is
for long enough and kind of stretch it, I mean, we can use your passive investigation, which is going to be 10 plus your investigation.
Wait, that. Oh, okay. 11 then. It's 11.
All right, so you spend a little bit longer searching. You do find kind of buried in like the like all the like random shit that's in the main drawer of the desk. You find what looks to be a letter, and it has a seal on it. Kind of looking at this, you see his head poke out from above the ladder, and he says, "What in the hell?" And he starts clambering up to get to the floor with you, but he sees you.
Oh,
boy.
I'm gonna cast invisibility right away. Ah, wait, I'm gonna blind him first.
Blind him first. All right.
Yeah, I'm
How are
gonna
you gonna
cast
blind him?
him
blindness,
at
deafness.
blindness at level 3.
Oh, okay. Okay. What is it? A
Oh,
Constitution save?
level 2 then, since if cast it on third level, just additional creature.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Let's see. He got a 16.
No.
What's your
So
spell save DC?
14.
Yeah. You watch as his eyes cloud over, but they quickly become unclouded as he seems to be seething with rage, and he starts marching towards you. You have one more
Okay,
action before you
I'm, I'm gonna cast invisible
ability.
again.
Okay. You cast
Again.
invisibility. You
Uh,
poof out of
wait,
existence, but
Is there
You-
a window there?
There are windows all over this building, so yes, there is a window in here. I
And
mean,
then
you're on the third story though, so I mean, you're high
That's
up.
far. Oh, the third
Fee
floor.
gonna
All
Fee gonna go out the window.
right. Make an athletics check because I mean it is glass.
Okay. As
15.
13.
Okay, your invisible form, you shatter the glass and roll out of it, making sure not to injure yourself. And as you sort of start falling towards the ground,
I use tumbling fool.
okay,
Like yeah.
half damage from falling. Okay,
I mean
so you're
to
gonna
to
take a little bit.
avoid
That's
and
like
stuff.
25 feet up. And it's like 15 feet up, but 5, 25. Okay. Where is my D10? I ask myself. All right, I'll just roll it in chat.
Okay, let's see if he's going to
There you go.
escape. What
Take
to?
11 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall onto the ground. Thanks to your tumbling full, you take half. So you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall
11,
onto the ground.
11.
Out the window, all the bandits start looking towards it, and you see this man kind of put his head out. There's an intruder! And he's kind of screaming, yelling for people to clamor and like get around.
Isn't invisibility a
None of
concentration spell?
Yeah, make another stealth check with advantage and plus 10.
Okay.
See you. I mean, 30. Okay. Yeah, they can't really find you because you're invisible. So you kind of get out easily enough, but they seem to
Um.
almost immediately more bandits appear to kind of
On
the amount of people on the perimeter.
on a side note, just make sure that no one get Fee's identity. She gonna be like wearing her hood all the time and then try to cover her face as much as she can. Is that okay? Since when you said before the man just poke his head up and then see Fee, to make sure that he doesn't see her face or anything like that. Is that okay?
Okay. All right, I need you as this all this commotion is happening and all these people are running about. I do
Okay.
want you to make a dexterity saving throw as people. I mean, you're trying to actively avoid getting hit by people who are walking by you.
Okay. Can I still use tumbling full like to evade danger?
Uh, it's not really gonna work because I mean this isn't necessarily attack rolls against you. It's just people
Okay.
pulling you. It doesn't help that you're small as well.
Yes.
19,
Yes.
that's good enough. Yeah, you're able to more or less kind of dodge in between the crowds that are kind of forming, and once you get to the perimeter, which is almost doubled in the amount of people kind of surveying it, you're able to kind of just squeeze through, and you eventually get back to your party just as the pass without a trace wears off and your invisibility begins to fade. Breathing heavily as you've been running over here. You're holding the letter in your hand. It's kind of crumbled a little bit because squeezing it.
The letters.
I
Wait,
just
what
grab the
happened?
letters, stuff them in my back, and was like, let's go. Move, 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 move. They will be coming after you.
Alright, let's go then.
Just to make sure that they diverse the into the other way. If we gonna make a minor, oh wait, it's not minor illusion. Just trying to minor illusion again, and then try to make a running sound into the other direction of them, so that of the commotion maybe to their
As you
direction
do
anymore.
this, as you start casting minor illusion to like do this, the elven woman that's from the other party, she starts doing something similar, and she's kind of like helping you out with this illusion thing as they're all kind of like running away. Get
Yeah.
away. Like definitely. I mean, you guys. It takes like another hour to get back, but I mean, like you guys are definitely back. And the halfling, he's kind of.
Reggie.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I was going to
Wow.
say Reggie, one more pass without a trace if we have to spell.
It's crazy.
I thought we were just running at full speed. I didn't think we were stealthing.
Well, I mean, pass without a trace does also prevent tracks. So.
Yeah. I would cast it on us as we retreated. If as soon as she said run, like let's get out of here, I would recast it.
Okay. Are you also going to be helping out the other party as you cast Pass Without a Trace? Or are you just...
Well, they're running in the same direction as me, so
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I don't want them following their tracks either.
You guys all make it back. You're like on the outskirts of Shelltown at this point, kind of gasping for breath as you kind of just ran the entire way here.
That was quite eventful,
And he's
right?
like, "You're one crazy motherfucker," and he's looking at you, Fee. Wow.
I know. I'm fabulous. Oh, but never mind that. Anyone have a healing potion? Fee gonna touch herself first, to cure herself since she's like 16.
Oh yeah. Cure
Has-
wounds. Cure wounds it up.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. We're going to sleep safe.
18. That's enough to bring you to full.
Okay.
So the party's like, the halfling, he's like, "So you found a letter?"
Yep.
Fucking
And
open
the
it,
man-
open it.
Not here, you fool.
Why not?
Does Fee remember the man's face? Just gonna ask that.
Halfling man?
The man from before, on the tower.
Oh,
The
okay.
leader
I
guy?
see. Yes.
Yeah,
No, you don't recognize. Well, actually, I guess Looker did have a picture of him. Yes, that was Ochre.
Okay.
I
He's the
got
leader
the
of this
letters
encampment.
as he got out, so I don't feel particularly sharing with the information. Not after that comment of that little guy.
What little guy?
The dwarf, maybe?
The halfling asked about me to open the letters and to read them.
Why are you always
Yeah.
so suspicious of other
Why?
people?
I want to see what's on the letters too. Like,
I don't see why we
Besides
shouldn't
that,
fucking open them. Yeah, I agree with him.
Not
Let's just
here.
open the
okay, where's a safe place we can open them?
I would say-
Fee
Yeah, he
cast
can
another
make.
hut.
Yeah, I had the same
Fee
idea.
gonna cast another hut again. For
Oh,
everyone.
let's see. I don't know if how many people can fit in that radius.
9.
That's enough. 9.
In
think that's-
creatures of
I think that's literally the exact amount because there's 5 people in their party and 4 people in theirs.
okay, that's
All right.
good. That's good.
They're taking up the exact amount of space inside of this tiny hut. It's a little bit of a squeeze, but everybody's kind of fitting in there. I'm like, well, actually, I guess the halflings. I guess you two are small, so I guess there's like a little bit of extra room.
Yeah, we can fit one more person in here.
Oh, please.
One more person or 2 more halflings?
All right, so let's open up this letter.
Okay, and I'll take the letters and open them. What language are they written in? If it's not common.
What languages do you all speak?
Woman.
I
Halfling?
speak Common, Sylvan. I speak Common, Sylvan, Elvish, and Primordial.
I speak Celestial.
I speak Common, Elvish, and Runic.
Yeah, as you guys
Guys,
pull
fine.
out this letter, the first thing you notice is that it doesn't even look like writing at first. It's like it looks like chicken scratch. It's like chicken scratch and then like squiggly lines that look very fluid. And all the people in the other party are kind of like instantly confused. They're like,
I
I
also
I
read
can't fucking
Thieves'
read this.
Is it written in Thieves' Camp?
No,
Ah, shit.
not at all.
Okay, I just have the
The
letters and I was like, can somebody read them?
You start passing it around. The barbarian doesn't even look at it because she only knows common. So I mean, she's just passing it
I don't
around.
really get it.
If I cast
And have you
Identify, would I be able to learn which is the language they're written in? Would I be
cast
able to
identify? You would know it
identify
makes
the
up the
language?
paper,
Ah,
not identify the language.
ah.
Know what kind of paper it is in the ink. That's about it.
No identifying the
come on.
language? That's like
Because the language is not a physical object in which you can identify. There's a spell called comprehend languages for that, though. But,
You wanna
yeah,
have that?
everyone's looking at it. And the elven woman, she's like, I could learn how to read this, maybe, if it's not too obscure, but. Okay.
Wait, what? Okay.
How much time do you need to do that?
Alright. What did you say?
I'm asking the elven woman, how much time do you need to do that?
It would take me about a day to be able to rememorize the spell, be able to understand it.
I
That's
extend
fine.
my hand towards her and like, nice to meet you, I'm Moon.
Nice to meet you as well. And she shakes your hand. Kind of, she looks like socially awkward.
What's your name?
She shakes it, albeit she has a very weak handshake. I can. I mean, there's certain words here that kind of make you saw it too, right? She points at you, dancer. Oh, you sort of confused looking at it. This has hints of primordial in it.
Ah, yes, you're right.
Seems to be using a similar script, but it's not the exact same. I mean, it's like I could guess at some of the words, but I mean, it would be a stretch. Answer in
All right.
particular, like it's kind of like it's imagine if it's like a language that shares some words with primordial. It be the same word, so you're kind of looking at it and you're like, well, in primordial this means, and some words in primordial that you make out, there are exactly 4 words. One of them is clam.
Out of character.
One of them is
Is Inferno close to Primordial?
primordial. No,
Hmm.
no is the language of devils.
I mean the Inferno and
Wolves?
Primordial. Aren't they close-ish?
Not at all.
Okay. I was for
Infernal
both
is the
ones.
language of devils. Primordial is the language of elementals. Language that people from the elemental plane speak. Aquan, Terran, Avian, I think the other one is, and then Ignan. Those are the primordial languages.
Hmm.
Okay.
Anyways, so you can make out the word for clam, ocean, the word for money, the word for mongrel
Mongrel.
specifically, but you're kind of like, that doesn't make any sense.
Alright. So, okay, so clam, ocean, mongrel.
Yes.
Okay, so if you need a
confusing.
day to figure out how to read this, that's fine because we were going to meet back up with our contact tomorrow night anyway. So, take your time, relearn your spell or whatever you need to do, and we'll get back to you, I guess.
I'll make sure to. Yes, I'll. It. Just that. She immediately pulls out her what looks to be a book, and she's like automatically just kind of like flipping through it and reading it. Like her eyes, it's like those scenes in movies, or like the math equations are like spinning around her head.
Just
Really
you can
into
see the
it.
cogwheels clicking.
Wheels turning.
Yeah, because
Since we recovered the letter, how about we hold on to it for tonight, and we'll meet back up tomorrow to figure this.
I'm fine with that. We're gonna be at the tavern if you want to come and pick us up.
What's your name, guys? Let's have some meet and greet
Well, I
after
know the
the
dwarf name's
operation.
Beerus.
That is his name. So, my name's Beerus. Nice to meet you. Female woman. I believe the barbarian's name was Glidna.
Something like that. By the way,
Good.
what kind of elf is the elf? Like a wood elf or a high elf or
Looks to be a
drow?
high elf. She has the bandage on her forehead.
Alright.
The high elf does not
Fee,
respond to your question. She's like way
Yeah.
into her book.
I know I asked her twice what was her name.
Well, as for me, my name is Dancer. Nice to meet you all.
Everyone's kind of like nodding, introducing each other. The halflings. My name is Turner. Nice to meet you. Let's see. She didn't say her name. Everybody just calls her Belle, so you can just call her Belle if you want.
That's the elf. That's the elf name.
Belle is the elf, yes. The human man who
uh,
you guys haven't really seen around that much. He's like Clarence. Fortunately.
Fee replayed the conversation of the man from before that she used to let the party know.
Okay.
Okay, so Fee gonna sort of like cast again minor illusion and then replay back the conversation that was going on.
Okay. Make an intelligence check to see if you can recall the information very well.
Okay.
I'm going around shaking hands with the other parties. Like, nice to meet you guys.
Okay.
No.
What'd you get? 7. I mean, it's okay. It's good enough. uh, I mean, it's good enough to like get the general point across. I mean, like there are some words missing, but I mean, you kind of get the gist of it.
Yeah. Short story.
Seems like most of the people working for him are common thieves and whatnot. So it seems like they're mostly working on quantity over quality, except for a few higher ups.
It would seem like.
Before when Fee was trying to searching through the leader's room, does she find anything sort of like stick out like a weapon or something?
Um, he did have armaments beside his bed. Yes, he had a Morning Star, and he had a pretty nice looking breastplate. And the Morning Star looked super deadly. Like it looked.
Okay, Fee gonna replay back that information for the party, and then she also add that on the first floor there's a door with lights coming out, but I haven't touched that place yet, so I don't know what's inside.
And also the Morning Star would have been crackling with what seemed to be static energy.
Okay, I'm Fee gonna tell them that too.
Sounds like a fucking Sounds like a magical weapon if I've ever heard of one.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Well, maybe if all 9 of us took that guy on at once, we almost surely take him down, but wouldn't want to fight him one on one. Well, maybe she would, and I like thumb point to Glid.
Kind of gives you like a. She kind of gives like a proud smile, and she like flexes her muscles a little bit while her arms are crossed.
Oh
It's
dear.
kind of like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I beat people up.
I'm good in one
That's my
arm.
thing, alright.
Mm.
Anyways, I think it's best if we all go get our night's rest. If she's gonna be in her book all night, she needs it. And even though he watches the barbarian, like she doesn't even stop reading. The woman just goes over and picks her up and just starts walking.
Okay, you
The elf
think of
woman is just
something, guys. We need a plan. We either need to lure him out of his hideout. I don't feel comfortable going in and fighting all the people that are inside.
I think we should wait on a definite plan until we find out what's in that letter.
Totally.
yeah, you guys got some planning to do. But I think that once you guys go back and find a resting place for the night, I think that's gonna be the end of the session because it's like
We are
4:15.
in the tiny hut.
Alright.
It's the perfect resting place.
Perfect place to sleep. Why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys found a letter, talked to some people, did some more investigating. Unfortunately, no combat again. I know. You guys will get it. I promise.
Almost combat.
Do you
We
guys
might get
storm
a hell
the?
of a lot of it if things go south.
Yeah. Fee almost got a little bit of it. Thankfully, she has invisibility.
I will say that before we head out, I will want to hit the general store sometime tomorrow.
Hopefully, you guys are able to get some money. Maybe you guys can get the owl statue that you wanted.
I got some money from gambling. Maybe I just keep doing that. Maybe I'm gonna be a gambler now.
Yeah, just quit being an adventurer. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna milk these Shelltown fools for all the money they got.
I
for all the
don't
silvers
think.
that they're worth.
Yeah.
I don't think that the people of Shelltown needs another person to in their pockets.
No. They're gonna feel like it's fair.
Sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have so much silver I can't carry it all. I'm gonna be dragging it.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Alright.
See you.
Evening, whatever. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so we have some planning to do for next week after we get information about what's written in the letters.
So, what are we planning?
Well, I still think no matter what's in the letter, we should try to free those slaves, but we just got to be careful because we don't want to get surrounded by over 100 people.
We just blew our cover.
What's the Morning Star anyway?
It's like a Morning Star is a weapon where you have like a stick and there's like a ball on it with spikes, and then you can like.
Oh, so it's like a hammer, but instead of the big metal thingy, it's chained into a ball with spikes on it.
It's just a ball with spikes.
Yep. Yeah.
On a stick.
They're designed to crack through, like pierce through armor.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's basically used for like puncturing plate mail.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm glad I got to use my pass without a trace.
That thing was super helpful. I mean, I didn't take full damage. I mean, if I did, I'm gonna be like 1 HP left, and that will be super scary.
Yeah, I'm surprised you just jumped out that window. That was pretty ballsy.
Yeah,
I figured you try to get around them first and then go back down the ladder, but yeah, just jump right.
well, I could like go invincible. I could go invincible and then take something out and then throw it into the window, sort of like giving him like the impression that I jump outside and then go down. That could be possible, but I don't want to take chance since his weapon is right. So
We are
You know,
totally feeling that
I could
morning
just
star.
stay. I could just stand 600 feet from the camp and just take pot shots at him until they get close enough that I just run away.
I'm just scared that if you do that, he gonna know where the other people was, and then he gonna get a guard to your place. That would be
We,
bad.
we no longer have the surprise on our side. I think he's going to be more vigilant from now on.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't have anything that dispel my invisibility, since I used like throughout this camp until now I use a lot of invincible. Spell magic gonna take the fun from it.
Also, this other party seems pretty invested in taking this camp out, considering the father of one of them is enslaved. So maybe we let them charge in and do the heavy lifting, so to speak, while we take pot shots.
Good idea. At least it seems like they have the muscle for it. They have the
Yeah,
barbarian.
we could just send them in to die first.
Exactly, you get it.
They have the barbarian too, so half tanky, half stuff.
Yeah, you just cast major illusion or something, pretend that there's like an army behind them, and then they run in 5 versus 100, and then they'll just die, and then all the money's ours. We get all the loot.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us has major illusion yet.
I don't think it's going to be that easy if there are like 100 or more people inside the camp.
Well, yeah, that was the joke. Like we just basically pretend for the other group that we have like 100 men with us, and they just charge in thinking it's safe, and then they all die because they're just fighting for 5 versus 100.
I think we need a better plan.
Those griffins are gonna be a problem if we're out in the open.
I still am inclined to go with this big surprise distraction round. Maybe free the slaves and lose the griffins, like scare them away or get them loose or something.
I don't know. I think something we might wanna do as well is just like tell the guys at the inn, or that yeah at the inn, that they should just fuck off for now, leave town, because they're definitely going to avenge this. Like they're definitely gonna get revenge.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go though. The detective made a comment about how leaving town was like not really a thing people do.
If we tell anybody else, especially like the guys that are being bribed or paid or corrupt, they will tell the Storm Riders.
No, I was just saying we tell the couple at the inn that things might get like shitty, so that they can just use my 50 gold and be safe for now at least. Maybe Fee could cast like the invisibility on them so they can just get out of town easily.
Well, even if I cast it on level 3, it would just allow 4 people maximum.
Well, yeah, there are only 2, so you could just cast it on the innkeepers and maybe the cook too. That's number 3. But
Oh, okay.
I don't think we should do that. I think if we're gonna do something like that, we should do it after we pull off whatever we're gonna do. Because if people start leaving town, it might raise eyebrows.
I mean, eyebrows
Just
are already raised by the fact that Fee literally got caught stealing evidence.
well, I think I don't know what Gigi is gonna be using that incident as, but I think Fee has already hide her identity, so they might
Well,
just
yeah.
think that
Yeah, but that could just be like an espionage thing, like a rival bandits or someone with deep pockets trying to infiltrate their thing. There's not been an actual attack yet.
But let's be
something
honest,
like that.
let's be honest, the only new halfling in town is basically Fee. So, and maybe the other adventurers, so it's not hard to guess who it was.
On could be a halfling or a dwarf, since they also same size as us. So I think it's not worth it.
Or a really smart, stealthy kobold.
Yeah, I mean, one we have a bard who just from an adventure group that really likes performing and stuff, and then on the other hand, we have a stealthy, sneaky small creature hiding and stuff. So it's total opposite.
Yeah, you're right. They're definitely going to think it's the other group that's doing it. I think we're in the clear, guys. Maybe we should just skip town.
Well, we have one night to discuss it or sleep over it. I say let's wait and see what the letters exactly are pointing towards.
I have a question though. On level 3, there's a spell that is non-detection. So I'm just wanna ask if the exact uh application of it.
That's to prevent scrying. So, like, a wizard or a sorcerer or something, or maybe no, a cleric is what I meant. That like knows how to scry on people. That would just straight up prevent that from happening.
Yeah, basically any kind of magic that would reveal a person um, would be stopped by that.
Yeah, by magical means though. It's not like your eyes would still be able to see the person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
what exactly are the divination magic? Like, for example, what?
Divination is like that's basically any kind of spell that lets you see something. So for example, there's like a spell which just opens up an eye somewhere and you can just look through it, and there's like spells where you can hear through it. There's like clairvoyance, for example, is the spell where you can just look at a place that's 300 feet away or something.
Oh, so it's basically like if you look it through your eyes, you can still see the specific person, but when you look on GPS or any sort of like radar thingy, you cannot see them.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. Thank you.
No problem.
It can be really useful if we're up against like, you know, a wizard or a cleric or someone who is able to hire those types of people to spy on other, or if they've got some kind of what's the word I'm looking for, where you put something in one place as like a, what's it called, where you, like the magic spell that you like put on a location.
I mean, there are many spells which. What does the spell do? Like,
I mean, what's the word? I'm blanking on the word.
You
It's
have
like you
locate
would
the
set it like
object.
traps. You could
oh,
set it like a trap.
you mean like alarm? The alarm spell?
No, like a rune, not a rune, but like
I know
what's it
what you're
called?
talking about. It's cleric spell.
No.
Yeah, you can place like a trap with a spell and an activator. So like if an enemy walks over that thing later, they'll get whatever spell is cast on it.
Yeah, but it's a cleric spell. High level cleric
Yeah.
spell.
Yeah, but I'm saying if somebody like was like rich and had like deep pockets, they could hire someone to put like scrying traps around to like detect invisible people, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And your non-detection spell would prevent them from going off, basically.
Well, it does cost you 25 gold though, and you have to use up like diamond dust, which is hard to get, so.
So, like, works when someone want to go through a warding, a sort of like alarm spell, and
Yeah,
then
a
when
ward.
the place with this spell on, they not gonna get detect or anything like that.
No, if you go through the alarm spell, the spell will be triggered because you are physically breaking and going through the spell. And the object or the person would be hidden from magical means. That's why what is a non-detection. So if you want to see something and you are using some magical means to look or spy at it through a distance, then you won't be able to. That's the point. How to put it? If you want to hide an object from other people, they won't be able to see it from a distance, but if they come close to the object, and if they use magic, they'll be able to see it, like to detect magic. If they use detect magic, it will show like a magical object.
Okay.
A glyph is what I was thinking of earlier.
Ah.
Yeah, I know which spell you're referring to, but it's a high level cleric spell.
Glyph of warding. Oh yeah, that one. was thinking of taking that one when we level up, since it had a super large application I can use.
Don't you need like 12 hours supplies and stuff and a lot of materials?
Yeah, 1 hour and 200 gold piece worth of powdered diamond and incense.
My God.
Yep, it's an expensive high level spell.
Well, I could always go for another thing that's still offensive than this one.
I would appreciate the text magic. I know Warlock don't have it, like Warlocks can't pick up detect magic.
Oh, warlocks can get detect magic.
Since when?
Well, you can just get an invocation, an eldritch invocation that makes it so you always have detect magic on. You don't even have to cast it.
Yeah, only through invocations. You don't have it in like the standard spells.
I don't think so. At least
Nope,
look.
I looked through it. I'm playing a Warlock in another campaign, so I don't have it like a standard spell.
But yeah, you can just get a way better version as an invocation, so that's cool.
I know, but I took Mask of Many Faces. That's much cooler.
Well, just keep leveling up and you can get it the next time if you really want.
Yeah, we did not get experience of any kind for this session.
I mean, we don't get any XP, we just go by milestone.
Yeah, it's okay.
You could ask him though if we leveled up. He's probably gonna say no, but it's worth a shot, I guess.
Well, maybe we're not there. Maybe we will level up after this encounter. And that's a maybe. Okay, let's make plans after we get the full content of the letters.
Technically, you could use your that spell you were talking about before, the non-detect one. You could use that to stop someone from using detect magic too.
Can you?
Yeah, if you use the non-detect spell on an item or on, like, I guess a magical person, you could stop somebody else from detecting it with detect magic. It is a divination spell, and the
Okay.
target can't be targeted by any divination magic, it says.
True, it is a divination. Okay, guys, I'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Moon.
Okay, it is time to stop it for now.
I feel like there is a way for a warlock to get detect magic. Let me check something.
We'll continue with like next be tough. And I'll be streaming later on, probably too. But it's time to go and grab lunch now. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi, and see you guys later.
Yeah, if you get the feat ritual caster wizard, you can get detect magic and you can cast it as a ritual.
Well, you can do that in 3 more levels.
Yeah, there we go.
Ritual caster. It was a good game.